We went to the police station and filed a complaint. They said they are already on the job of identifying the person and his whereabouts. Kumar. I was shocked to see people standing around inside the gate. My mother has a habit of bringing Lena to the park in the compound. Lena likes the swing very much. If she was not taken to the swing at the designated time, she would become restless. Mom must have thought it was safe inside the compound. Now Lena missing, how Sahithi and my mother are affected. Who will console them? How can I console them? We went to the police station and booked a case of kidnapping. They said they are looking into the matter. I went to Krishna's place and asked him to check with his friends if anyone knew Suresh and his whereabouts. He said he will check with friends from the area. I thought, what else can I do? I went to Sahithi's house. I checked with her mother. She said nobody knew where they went. They just disappeared one night after their son's arrest. Maybe they were ashamed of his acts. Now we don't have any other option than to let the police find the persons responsible. Sahithi broke down when no news of Lena was available. She went into a kind of depression. She was not eating anything. Not even drinking water. I had to forcefully make her drink some tea. I told her, if you break down like this, what you will do when she returns home? Police will find her and return her home. Don't worry, she will certainly return. I had to take her to bed and let her lay on the bed. I called the doctor and explained the situation. He said, wait for a day, if she does not become normal, we will take her to the hospital. I went and looked at her in the bedroom. She was sleeping, but her face seemed in pain. I sat beside her on the bed and looked at her, thinking about all the times we had fun and now what she made herself of. By sitting on her side, I dozed off. I got up around 3 a.m. She seemed to be sleeping. I lay down and went to sleep. The next morning, I got up and found Sahithi already up and getting ready. I looked at her and found her, unlike yesterday, she was enthusiastic and ready to search for Lena. I asked, shall I come with you? She said, no need, you go to the office, and I will go and check. I went over to the office and met the chairman and explained the circumstances. I said, Sahithi may not come to the office until she finds Lena. He said, let Sahithi take whatever time she needs. We made all kinds of tries to get information. We printed photos of Lena in the newspapers. We put ads on the TV. We offered rewards for the information on Lena. Nothing showed any results. Slowly finding no results, Sahithi started to attend the office and waited for any call that will result in finding Lena. She still cries to sleep into the night. But overall, she recovered to lead a normal life. Normally this kind of incident brings a divide between couples. But in our case, it has brought us closer. It is not that we were far apart, it has not brought a divide between us. She was blaming herself for this. She told me he thought I called the police, so he took my girl. I am responsible, I said. If he had a misunderstanding, how are you responsible? She would listen to nothing of it. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months and months turned into years. Lena was not found. Police could not find any trace of Suresh or Lena. After 3 years we had another baby girl. We named her Reena. After the birth of Reena, Sahithi was trying to forget Lena. But on her birthday, she would be inconsolable. Now she is trying to see Lena in Reena. When Reena did something, she would remember Lena did this that time. Sahithi becomes very possessive of Reena. It was Reena's 3rd birthday. Suddenly Sahithi remembered Lena and started crying. She felt a bile rise in her mouth, went to the bathroom and vomited. When nausea has not subsided, I had taken her to the doctor. The doctor checked her and confirmed that she is 8 weeks pregnant. After 7 months we had a baby boy. We named him Atul. 81 Chapter 7. 1997 Month of January. Lena. Now I am 7 years old. My dad has a software firm and my mom looks after the interior decoration firm which belongs to Loveleen Auntie. We all stay in a big bungalow. Loveleen Auntie has a son named Dhruv. He is the youngest in the house and all pamper him very much, including me. I like him very much. My brother Atul thinks he is elder than me, and his twin sister Reena, and they behave like they are elder than me and they can order me. Our school bell rang and I was the last to come out of the room. I saw Atul and Reena walking toward the car. We daily come and go to school in the car, our mother sends it with the driver. In the beginning, Chitty used to come to pick us up. Nowadays she is very busy with Dhruv and we go with our driver. I called them Atul and Reena, they turned towards me and something happened. I stood before our house at the beach. I went to the gate and banged on it. The watchman opened the gate and asked, "Whom do you want?" I told him to open the gate and let me in. He asked, "Whom do you want to meet?" I said, "Mummy." He asked, "Who is your mummy?" I said, "Sahithi," and he asked, "Who is your daddy?" I said, "Kumar." He said, "They don't live here." I saw D'Souza uncle walk by. He used to come to Dad's office and his daughter Nikita used to teach us. I called him and told him the watchman is not opening the gate. Uncle must be knowing the watchman. He asked, "Campbell, what happened?" The watchman said, "She is telling her mother's name is Sahithi and her dad's name is Kumar and she lives here. There is no one here, they don't live here. In fact, no one lives here and the owners come in a year or two." He said, "I know that." He asked me, "Where is your house?" 83. I said, "These 4 bungalows are ours only. The last bungalow is my dad's office. Your house is opposite that. We used to live in the second house and Loveleen auntie used to live in the third house and now we all have shifted to live here. Where is Nikita teacher? She did not come to teach us." He said, "I will take her to the police station and inquire with them." Sahithi. Lena would be 8 years by now. Where are you, Lena? In what condition are you? Every year this month we are advertising Lena's photo and offer a reward for any information on Lena. Every year we are increasing the reward amount. But till now we have not received any credible information about finding Lena. Kumar. I have been giving ads on TV and in newspapers every year offering a reward for any information on Lena. Till now we have not received any information. This year I decided to give ads on local TV channels and local newspapers all over Maharashtra. If she was taken it outside the city, someone would have noticed. We have to make a try. Almost 3 months later we had our first information on Lena after 6 years. Someone called the police and said, one old couple had brought a 1-year-old baby into their village. The old couple said their son and daughter-in-law have died in an accident and left this baby. No one suspected them. They have left the village after 2 years. Where they went away nobody has an idea. Now we have an idea she is alive and we have to find her anyhow. After collecting information from the police, we went over to the village, where the old couple raised Lena for 2 years. We took one person who can sketch the persons from descriptions. We collected information from the source and had the sketch prepared for the old couple. We rewarded them as promised. We again ran the advertisements of the couple offering a reward to them or anyone offering information about them. One day we received a call from Santa Cruz West Police Station. They said, "We have a girl named Lena asking for Kumar and Sahithi." We took our car and went over there. A girl of around 7 years was sitting on the bench. When she saw us, she got up and ran to Sahithi and caught her calling, "Mummy, where did you go?" Sahithi said, "Where did you go?" She said, "I went to our house and there is no one there. D'Souza uncle brought me here and spoke to the police here and they called you." The SI said, "We know about her being kidnapped. When she said your names we recalled your ads in newspapers and TV. So, we called you. But she was telling us about staying in the Vijayawada area. We will inquire there." Sahithi. I can't explain what I felt when I met Lena after so many years. I hugged and wept my heart out. I thought about what became of Lena, how she would look when she went missing and now all grown up. She looked well brought up and spoke excellent English. She also speaks with me in Marathi. She is acting like she was missing for a day, not all these years. We took her to our quarters. She met her grandmother and said, "You are not taking me to play on swings." She speaks in Telugu with her grandmother. And the surprise was when she met her siblings. She recognized Atul and Reena but started laughing saying, "You have become so small. Now act and show you are elder than me." She asked us, what happened to the bungalows on the beach? Did you lose everything and had to come back to stay with the Taya? We were perplexed and asked, did you stay at beachside bungalows? She said, yes, if you take me there I can show you. I asked, what were we doing there? She said, Mom was working for Loveline Aunt's company. And Dad had a software development business, and Chitty used to look after us. We also have Sunitha Auntie staying with us and Joy used to come with her for lunch. After hearing her it is also so much confusing. She went to Atul and Reena and said, remember you are younger than me and I am your elder sister. At least she was in her own surroundings. She seemed happy staying there. Did she dream all that? Somewhere I read to face these kinds of situations some children make up things. But her English and her behavior are as if she is studying in a good school. She told us her school is near Santa Cruz Station. She goes to her school in a car with her siblings. Where did she stay? 85. Chapter 8. 1998 month of January. Sahithi. We celebrated Leena's birthday after 7 years. We had a big party and called all the people we are associated with. After all these years I was elated to host the party. There were talks in the office that the chief accountant may retire at the end of March. Then Kumar would be promoted as chief accountant. It would be the biggest promotion for him. Kumar. On March 31st, we had given a send-off party for chief accountant, who is retiring today. I received my promotion orders today. From tomorrow I would be the chief accountant. On the 1st of April, I have taken charge as the chief accountant. One by one staff members came to congratulate me. Sahithi. I am proud of Kumar today. He became chief accountant in 13 years. It is a very prominent position in our company. I was PA for many years. I am happy with my 3 kids. I am happy that I could do my job and could raise my kids. That is all I cared about. Leena is 8 years of age, Reena is 5 years, Atul is 1 year. Leena and Reena go to school, and Atul is looked after by either of the grandmothers. Mother-in-law was a little hesitant to look after Reena at the beginning, after the incident of the kidnapping of Leena. But she overcame that, and she loves the kids very much. My father-in-law's retirement is coming near. We need to arrange for a house immediately. I think there are new developments near Bandup, which are very suitable for us. Our savings should be enough for a 75% upright payment and the balance can be taken as a loan. With the new salary, Kumar can get better loan offerings. We should start looking for houses. Kumar. Our chief accountant's retirement brought another glaring future in front of us. My father's retirement slated for next year. If he retired we need to give up our quarters and need to shift to our own house. I inquired with some friends and came up with a new development of skyrise apartments at Bandup. We can get 4-bedroom apartments at our price range and with a little loan, we can fulfill our new house dream. With the loan, we can save money on the tax part also. We went and looked at some flats and finally decided on a flat on Rainbow Apartments on the 9th floor. It was a 3-bedroom hall kitchen flat. By making small tweaking we could have extra room. The flat would be ready in 3 months and then we could make our own interior decorations. After 6 months we have shifted to a new flat. My father was not ready to leave the quarters. I said to him, let brother stay there until we have to vacate the quarters. 87. Chapter 9. 1999 month of January. Sahithi. Leena is in 4th grade and Reena is in 1st grade, Atul is 1.5 years. They are enjoying life in the new flat. It has all the facilities for the children to play. Children's exams were completed and they got summer holidays. In the meantime, Kumar's uncle's youngest son's marriage is fixed with his aunt's youngest daughter. Their father was the youngest in his family. The marriage is slated to be performed at Madras. Father-in-law asked us, we all should go to the marriage as it would be the last marriage in this generation. We planned for all of us to go to the marriage. I have not been to Madras any time. My brother-in-law said, he has some other work and could not make it to the marriage in time. We booked tickets by train and we all went to Madras. It was the first time the kids had to go on a long train journey. We booked a hotel near their house. The marriage was performed in a temple. We attended the marriage and returned to the hotel. Father-in-law has switched on the TV in the room. When he saw the news on the TV, he called us to come and see it. There was a scroll running with breaking news. There were visuals from the site of a building collapse in Bombay. The name was of our building and the area was ours. We could see our surroundings in the visuals. It was our building that had collapsed. All our furniture, household items, everything turned into rubble. We are left with only what we have with us. Luckily, we had not handed over the quarters. Kumar's brother was staying there until they take away the quarter. I thought at least we have a roof overhead. But everything we earned all these years has gone down the drain. I looked at Kumar. He was calm as a cucumber. I thought, doesn't he have any feelings? There was no concern on his face. Whatever we earned for the last 10 years has been lost forever, and over that, we have a housing loan for which we had to pay without having a house. Still, he is so calm. He caught Atul and kissed him on the head. Next Reena and then Leena, as if they are not there in the house and missed the collapse. Still reports coming in about the number of dead. Seeing his reaction, I calmed down. At least we are safe. This marriage is a godsend. The TV reporter is saying that the land over which the building was built was once a marsh and it was filled to make the building. I looked at Kumar. He caught my eye and said, nothing to worry about. I had taken the precaution of insuring the flat and its contents. All is not lost. We can recover something from this ordeal. I got up and kissed him for his foresight. Kumar got up and said, I will go to Bombay immediately, and you can go to Bombay on the day we booked tickets. I will check with the authorities and do the needful. He booked a flight ticket to Bombay and went over. Father-in-law rang up his elder son and inquired about the accident and said, we will be coming back to the quarters. We will have some problems with sleeping arrangements, but we can manage. Kumar. After a long time, we met all the relatives. We have not been to Andhra for a while. Everyone was asking about Leena and her ordeal. Some relatives have asked us to visit their places. After the marriage, we went to the hotel. Seeing the building collapse, something got stuck in my throat. But I am happy that we are away from the building. At least I had the foresight to insure the flat and its contents. I will go and file claims. I booked tickets to go to Bombay and packed a bag and left for the airport. I went to the local police station and confirmed our safety and asked for infer for filing the claim. After completing the formalities there, I went to our quarters. After reaching the quarters, called our office and informed them about our building collapse and informed them that all of us were safely in Madras. Called Madras, informed them about the progress of the situation and said, I will come and pick them up from the station. I went to the station and picked up the family returning from Madras. Sahithi said, she met more relatives at the reception organized the next day, which you missed. They were all asking about you. I had to explain the situation in Bombay to them. Those who know about the collapse said you were lucky that you came to the marriage. 89. We came back to the quarters by cab. I went and purchased some mattresses. Other immediately required items are food items and some clothes for the children. It seemed like starting a new family. At least we are all in one piece. Part 5. Life after Leena's return. 91. Chapter 1. 2005, month of January. Leena. I'm in 10th now, preparing for SSC exams this year. I have been studying hard. I am sure to get good marks. SSC exams finished and we got summer holidays. Grandfather's elder brother expired in the village and we all went over there. This was the first time I had visited a village. I was told I was in a village in my childhood and I couldn't remember much from that time. Father told me that village was transformed from the time he studied his 10th year. We went to his school and looked it over. Dad told me that the school has not changed much. It was as it was 25 years ago. Same buildings, same ground, same everything. Then he went to meet his old friends. There was a boy who came to me and asked, "Are you the girl who came from Bombay?" I said, "Yes." "I heard someone kidnapped you when you were small." I said, "Yes." He asked, "What was your experience?" I said, "I don't remember much. The only thing I remembered is that I was raised by some old couple. Then they took me to Bombay and I was somewhere and Dad came and took me to a bungalow. In fact, we had 4 bungalows side by side, the 2 at the seaside. Then I stayed there for some time and then I was back in Thataya's house. He asked, "What are you studying?" I said, "I just wrote the SSC exams." He said, "I wrote inter second year exams." I asked, "Inter, what?" "It is 10 plus 2, he replied. "What is your name?" I asked. He said, "Venkat." I asked, "What is your relation to my grandfather?" He said, "Your father and my mother's are brother and sister. My mother's father is the elder brother of your uncle in Madras." "Okay," I said. Grandmother called and I went over to her. Sahithi. I had trouble conversing with Kumar's relatives. Younger and my age people are easy to converse with, I can speak with them in English or Hindi. The only problem with older people, they don't understand anything other than Telugu. If they call me, I had to take someone along with me. Sometimes it is funny how they translate the sentences. There is always some loss of words, which gives funny meanings. Lena is the best translator I could find. I can tell her in Marathi and she could translate into Telugu. Where did she learn that? This is my first trip to their village. It must have been a village once. Now, most of the fertile land turned into developed plots. There is a bus depot and it became a town than a village. What Kumar told me, his school has not changed, but the way to the school used to be empty lands earlier, now they were all buildings or shops. He went to check if any of his old friends are there. Kumar. Been here after a long time. I did my 10th here. After that only once I was here before going to Bombay. This must be after 25 years. I went and looked at my school. It was as it was all those years ago. They must have done repairs. On the board which shows the toppers for that year, I looked at the name against the year I have done my 10th. Mitali Sharma was the girl I competed against. Seeing the board, I remembered my 10th life here. We used to play cricket every Sunday. We used to play ball badminton near our house and also in school. We enjoyed school life very much. Nagraj used to stay near our house. We used to study together on a terrace opposite his house. I was told he has a shop on the main road. I went to him and spoke with him. I inquired with him about other classmates. Some of them are still in the village and some have moved away. After speaking with him, I came back to my cousin's house. Sahithi. 93. I am a little scared of whom the girls are interacting with. I don't know anyone here, that is the reason for my insecurities. After whatever functions are completed we return to Bombay, rather Mumbai. Kumar. My children never knew about my village or my relatives until now. I wanted to know their reaction when they meet them. I hope they made new relations and friends during the visit. That is the reason when the relatives asked them to visit their places, I have not objected. I know until we went over to Bombay, how close we were to our cousins. We used to visit them for all functions and holidays, which our children missed. These kids' grandparents are in the same city and they used to be raised by both of them as per convenience. Until now they have not visited any relatives outside the city. Lena. I got an A+ grade in my SSC exams. I am happy and thinking about what stream should I take. Should I get into CA like my father? Or software is the new thing in the world? Or go into CS like mom? I have so many choices and options. I thought if I take science I still could go into any of the above. Finally, I decided to take science in junior college. I got admission to Mithabai College, my father's degree college. Sahithi. Lena got college admission. I said for the first day I will take her and drop her in the college. I took her to college, paid the fees and took her to her class and left her there. Lena. I went and sat on an empty seat. After some time, my friends from my school, who have joined this college, have come and said hi to me and they sat beside me. I am happy some friends would be with me in college also. At the time of the break, we went to the canteen. The canteen was as father described it. He told me the stories of what happened there. How Raj uncle had met him there, and what kind of drama he enacted there. Finally, to his surprise, when father learnt that he does not belong to the college, we went and sat at a table. One of the girls went and brought some samosas. While eating I looked around. On another bench some girls and boys were sitting, they seemed to be our seniors. Slowly students were coming inside and tables are getting filled. I felt a spooky sensation and had a glance at the side table. A guy was looking at me when my eyes fell on him, and he smiled. I looked at him for a second and turned to the girl sitting beside me and said, "That guy is looking at me," and smiled when I looked at him. She looked at the side I indicated and said, "He is still looking at you." After finishing our snacks, we got up and went to our class. When the college finished we started to go to the station to catch a local train. I thought someone was following me and looked back, no one was there. Rahul. I am studying in 12th at Mithabai College. Today I saw a girl in the canteen. She looked at me and turned her face away. When I saw her, I felt I have known her, but couldn't recollect where. The next day I was entering the college and I saw the same girl getting down from the car. I stopped and looked at her. Someone got down from the driver's seat. It must be her mother. When she turned towards me, I recognized her. She was staying near our house in Vakola. Later we moved to Andhra and we lost contact with their family. She was my father's Rocky sister. I went over to the car and called her auntie. She stopped from entering the car and looked back at me. I said, "Auntie, I am Raksh's son. We were staying in Vakola, don't you remember?" She asked, "Oh, you are Rakesh Bhaiya's son, Rahul, no?" I said, "Yes, you remembered me. I saw you when you were this little. This is Lena," pointing to the girl I saw in the canteen. I said, "Is she the one who was kidnapped?" Sorry, I should not have said that." She said, "It's okay, she is accustomed to the people asking. How is your father? I have not seen him for many years." I said, "He is okay, auntie. I am getting late, auntie, we'll see you later," and went to class. Lena. 95. The boy who was looking at me yesterday came and spoke to Mom. At lunch break, he came to the table and spoke to me. He was telling me how they knew my mother for a long time and when I was kidnapped, how they all looked everywhere. How my mother was heartbroken when I was not found. Break time is finished yet he has not finished his story of my kidnapping. He said he will speak with me later and went to his class. We went to our class. None of my friends knows this story. They heard with apt attention to what Rahul was saying. They had a lot of questions that they wanted to ask him. When I went home in the evening, I went and hugged Mom. She asked, "What happened?" I said, "I am just happy that you have not stopped looking for me until I am found. Ultimately, we would have found you. The person who kidnapped you has abandoned you with those old people. Then they left for Bombay, they must have feared the police might reach their house and they sent you back. I am happy we found you. That is all that matters in the end. We always think about what kind of life you had during that time. You would have been raised as princesses in our house instead of you being raised in a poor house of a pauper." I said, "Thank you, Mom," hugged her once more and went to my room. The next day when we went to the canteen, my friends were eager to ask him questions. They started bombarding him with questions. They even went into personal questions about my father and mother. How did they meet? We heard they are from different languages. Is their marriage as love marriage? He replied to them from what he knew. For some questions he said, he will inquire with his parents. One girl from our group, Sheila, took a liking to him. She said to me, "He is so cute, na." I asked, "Is he?" Rahul. I thought I will impress Lena by telling her kidnapping story. She does not seem impressed. Instead all the girls started bombarding me with questions. I don't know the answer to many questions. I have to get more information from my parents. One girl from their group, Sheila, seems to be taking a liking to me. She is good looking, but I need to get more information about her before committing to anything. Lena's father is the chief accountant and Sahithi auntie is the company secretary. Both are in good positions. They will come in handy when I need any help professionally. I should keep in good books with them. About Sheila I don't know much. I have to get more information. She seemed to be from a good family at least. The next day I went to the canteen as usual. When they started asking questions, I told them first to introduce themselves and tell me about themselves before I can answer their questions. They all introduced themselves, and when Sheila's turn came she said, "My name is Sheila, and my father is a businessman. We have a packing can manufacturing unit in Bandup." I thought about packing cans, and what profit they would get. But when she said they live near Prabhadavi Exchange in Dadar, that raised my interest. That is an upmarket area. Her family must be loaded. What she is I could not place her. She speaks in Marathi with Lena but does not seem Maharashtrian. Gujarati, maybe. I asked, "Sheila, what is your father's name?" She said, "Kurat Trivedi." Yay, she is Gujarati. One problem with Gujaratis is they don't eat non-veg. Better to follow Lena only. Lena. I was watching Rahul speaking with the girls. When Sheila said she stays in Dadar he seemed interested, but when she said her surname is Trivedi his reaction changed. When he came to know she is Gujarati, he seemed disinterested. Maybe he thought they don't eat non-veg. I told Sheila that. We are planning to celebrate Atul's birthday. We planned a party for this. I invited all my friends and also Rahul. I told him we are only serving non-veg only. He had come with one of his friends. All my friends had come. After cake cutting and distribution of cake, I went for dinner with my friends. Rahul had come behind us. Sheila took a plate and put non-veg food on her plate. Seeing her eating non-veg, Rahul's demeanor has changed. He was full on smiling and talking jokingly. I thought my calculation was correct. He stood beside Sheila and had his dinner, talking to her jokingly. I thought my plan has 97. Worked. I don't have any interest in Rahul. If Sheila is interested in him, she can have him. Rahul has started hanging out with our group. With him, some more of his friends started sitting at our table. Now we became a group of guys and gals. Sahithi. Rahul has come to Atul's birthday. At first, he seemed interested in Lena, but by the time they left, he seemed more interested in Sheila. At least his interest had shifted. I wouldn't recommend him at this juncture to anyone. I asked Lena about Rahul, and what she feels about him. She said she doesn't have any opinion about him. It seems Sheila is interested in him and Rahul also interested in her. My intuition is correct. At least Lena is not interested in boys at this juncture. That is a relief. Rahul. At last, I found Sheila is not a vegetarian. So, it won't be a problem if her family is vegetarians, which I feared in the first place. If I go by points, Sheila likes me, she is from well-to-do family, and in the future, if they agree to my and Sheila's alliance, they would be better than Lena's family. So, after careful consideration, I thought that Sheila is better than Lena financially. But Lena seems to be their leader, I had to keep her in good books. That's why I started to hang out with their group and my group members started following me, seeing the girls in their group. I got quite a good opportunity to check the theory when Dussehra came. It is time for dance, Garba and Dandiya. I can go to their building and check their status. Lena. It is time for Garba and Dandiya. We have decided to go to a paid Garba function. We brought tickets for all of us and went there. We enjoyed ourselves there. The next day we went to Sheila's Society Garba. We all went to her building. She invited us to her flat. Rahul was behind us. We all went up to their flat in the lift. It was a double flat converted. It has a double hall 4-bedroom flat. Seeing this flat, Rahul's eyes popped out. We had been to her house before. But it is his first visit. Seeing him, I doubted his intentions. Did he have a love for her or did he come here to check their money? Mobile phones were just coming into the market, they were costly and the call is also costly. But having a mobile has become a status symbol. We wanted to enact a prank on Rahul. When we were at the canteen, Sheila received a call. She started crying after receiving the call. We all surrounded her and asked, what happened? She said, our factory in Thane has caught fire and total equipment has been destroyed. We became paupers. Hearing this, Rahul just disappeared from the scene. Now it has become clear that he was there for her money. I pointed to her, see what happened, I told you about Rahul, he was after your money only. Sahithi. What are these kids up to? I don't understand them. When there is Garba at Sheila's place they took tickets and went somewhere else. Then the next day they went to Sheila's place. What is the need of wasting money? When they will understand the value of money? Only time will tell. Lena. I thought Sheila would learn a lesson from the prank on Rahul, but she had not stopped liking him. The next day when she saw him, she went and spoke to him. She said, we had played a prank on him. He acted angrily and said, he went to Thane to check on the factory site. When he went there was nothing of the fire accident. In the first place, they did not have any factory in Thane, instead, they had a factory in Bandup. Secondly, she knew he did not go to Thane. But she was blinded by love. She would not listen to us. Sheila. What is Lena doing? What she is trying to do? Why she is trying to break us up? If she does not love him, she should not interfere in our matters. She says she does not have any interest in Rahul. Why should she care about him? She says her mother knows his parents and they are decent people, why she should care? Lena. 99. I know Rahul's family is good people. But I don't know about Rahul and I don't want my friend to be hurt. I know about these boys, they will play with girls until they are no longer a plaything and then discard them like garbage. Sheila with him might last longer, but what is her future I can't foresee. Rahul. I was approached by a man named Raj. He said he wanted to speak with me in confidence. He told me to come with him, his boss wants to speak with me. He took me to a hotel in the Juhu area on the beachfront. From his room, we can see the sea. I was told to sit down. I sat down on the sofa. Raj sat beside me and the man addressed me. He said, my name is Rakesh and everyone calls him RK. Do you know Sheila Trivedi? I said, she studies at our college. He asked, what do you know about her? I know her father is a businessman and he has a tin packing manufacturing unit in Bandup. What else you know about him? He asked. Nothing else except they have a flat at Prabhadavi. Raj got up and went to him and spoke something in his ear. Rakesh showed his hand to Raj to stop him. Raj came back and sat down beside me. We have a job for you. If you work for us we will pay you 10 lakhs. I was surprised what kind of job pays 10 lakhs. Whatever the job may be, I am ready to do anything short of murdering someone. I asked, what do I have to do? First, you have to agree to do the job. Once you agree to it you can't go back on your word. If you say you can't do the job after we explain the job, you can't get out of this room. If you agree to a job and later you won't do what is asked of you, we will find you and you will pay for it. You have to agree to it or you can get up and walk out of this room. I thought about getting up and going out but the thought of losing 10 lakhs made me sit there and give a word that I would do whatever was asked about me. Rakesh signed Raj. Raj got up and removed money from a cupboard and gave me. I looked at it, and it is a 1000 rupee bundle. If there are 100 notes in that it would be 1 lakh. I pocketed the money. I asked what I had to do. He said, I will tell you when the time came. Raj will contact you and will give details. Raj gave me a mobile phone and said, we will contact you on this. This is the first time I am holding a mobile in my hand. I got up and asked, can I go? He said, we will contact you on that, keep it with you all the time. I came out of the hotel and looked at the phone. I set it to silent and went to college. I put the money in my locker behind some books. After 2 days I got a call on my mobile. I cut the call and went out and called them back. They cut the call and called back. I took the call and said, hello. Raj was on the call, and he said, there will be Hausa in the club and you have to bring Sheila there on Saturday. Then what do I have to do? I asked. He said, nothing else, and cut the phone. I thought only going to Hausa with Sheila on Saturday, it is very easy. I went to my locker and took out 10 notes and pocketed them. I went to Sheila and asked, will you come for Hausa on Saturday? I got some free passes. She asked, can Lena also come? I thought a minute and thought what is the problem if she brings Lena with her, and said, okay you can bring her also, I will ask for an extra pass. I went there in advance and brought 3 entry passes and came back to the college. Sheila said, I will go home first and then we will come to the club. I said, okay. Sheila. I went home and changed into party clothes and gave one to Lena. We both reached the club, and Rahul is waiting at the gate. He took us inside the house playing area. He sat us in the chairs there. 101. He asked, "Do you want to have something?" I said, "Cool drink." He went to the stand and brought us drinks. Again, he went and brought us house tickets for the next game. Rahul. I was waiting at the gate and they got down from the cab. I went to them, paid for the cab and took them inside. I gave the tickets at the gate and we entered the house playing area. There are chairs arranged in the front. And also seating area like in a stadium. We were early and very few people have come. We went and sat on the chairs. I asked, what they will have. Sheila said, cool drinks. I went to the cool drinks stand. Raj was standing behind the cool drinks stand. I asked for 2 cool drinks. He asked, why do you have 2 girls with you? She is her friend. It would be easier to get them than say no to another girl and she does not go out without her. He said, smarty. I took the drinks he gave me. He said, don't drink yourself, give them only. I understood that he is trying to drug them or something. I thought it was easy to work. Hausa started, and the man started calling the numbers. Lena and Sheila were noting down numbers on their tickets. Again, I brought another couple of drinks for them. They drank them up. The game finished. I went and got another set of tickets for them. Sheila asked, aren't you playing? I said, my hand is unlucky. Lena. We were enjoying the Hausa. Rahul is supplying us with house tickets and cool drinks. How come he has become so considerate? Maybe he is trying to woo Sheila by throwing money. Where did he get so much money? Is he sponsored by anyone? Who would sponsor him? I don't know if he had a wealthy friend who would do this for him. What is his end game? Is it to impress Sheila? What is the need to impress Sheila now? Sheila. I think I had lots of cool drinks. My bladder is bursting. I asked Lena, accompany me to the toilets. It is the middle of the game and there was no one at the toilets. I went inside one of the stalls. I washed my hand and face and both of us came out. The toilets were on another side of the stadium. When we came out, 2 ladies came from the other side and started asking something in an unknown language. We were telling them to excuse us. They put something on our noses. We could not breathe and we fell. I saw Lena dropping to the floor and that is the last thing I remember. Lena. We came out of the toilets and someone closed our noses and mouth with a cloth and I saw Sheila and me falling on the floor. Then we woke up in a kind of go down. There were some parcels placed around and in the center part, we were tied on 2 chairs. I looked at Sheila, she is still unconscious. My head was throbbing as if I am having a strong headache. It seems we were kidnapped. I remembered what Dad had taught me all this time. I was kidnapped when I was months old. Mom also was kidnapped once for some papers. He had already prepared us on what to do in the event of being kidnapped. It was a kind of survival technique he instilled in us brothers and sisters. One thing is not to panic. Panic makes us do stupid things like trying to run away, which could lead to accidents or being caught and punishments. Second, observe your surroundings, which will come in handy. Third, know your enemies. Understand what they want, the way they are behaving. Target the boss. To do that, first find who is their boss. The person who gives orders is most probably their boss. If he is not the boss, he will most possibly be using the boss's name to keep others under control. He has taught us all this throughout our life. He said these things will come in handy in life also. He has also sent us to learn self-defense. He always says defense is the best form of offense. Sometimes he also says offense is the best form of defense. So, you have to learn to use them judiciously. I saw Sheila move a little, it seems she is coming to consciousness. 103. Kumar. It was around 11:30 p.m. I have received a call from Mr. Trivedi, Sheila's father. He was concerned that their daughter has not returned from their outing, and she told him she will be going to the club for house night. When he called her cell there was no reply, it was switched off. He tried calling the club, but the house was finished more than an hour back. When he inquired about the kids, they said only adults were around in the bar and no kids are allowed there. He waited for some time. When there is no sight of the kids, he called me to inquire if Lena has come back. I said, I know they were together and Lena also has not come back. He said, I am getting tensed up here, please do something. I said, I am coming to their place, and took their address and told Sahiti the situation. She said, she is also coming with me. We both took the car and went over to their place. Sheila. When I woke up we were tied up to chairs. I started to shout to let us out. Lena shushed me and said, don't shout. We will find a way out. Let us see what they want. Maybe they want money. They must be trying to contact your family. Be patient, we will find their intentions. We sat there waiting for someone to enter the room. Lena. When Sheila gained conscience, I silenced her and said, don't make noise. Let us see what they want. We waited for someone to enter the room. After some time one person came inside the room. He was wearing a kind of monkey cap on his face. He said, to Sheila, do you have your dad's mobile number? His phone is coming busy. I thought he must be calling everyone trying to find Sheila. Sheila showed her mobile and told him that number would be in that. They must have switched off the mobile when they picked us up. He switched on the mobile and it started to ring. He took the mobile outside after seeing who is it from. It must be from her father. Kumar. We reached Sheila's society and went to her flat. It was on the 12th floor. We knocked on their door. Someone opened the door. He must the servant. I said, I am Kumar, and he said, come in sir, Trivedi Saab is waiting for you. We went inside. He was on a call with someone. I asked, whom are you talking to? I am trying her friends from the list she has. I said, if you keep on calling, she can't reach you, put down the phone. He said, her mobile is coming switched off. I said, then try again on her mobile. He tried and said, now it is ringing. When the person other side picked up the phone he said, hello beta, are you there? He listened to the other side and said, don't do anything to my baby, I will do whatever you ask, and then it seems the call was cut short. He said, he is saying they have kidnapped my daughter along with your daughter. I am sorry that your daughter became collateral damage in this. I said, don't worry about my daughter. Bringing both of them back is our target. It is lucky for your daughter, my daughter is also with her. I have trained her for this kind of situation. Once my wife was also kidnapped for some papers. We have got her back and they could not use the papers. He exclaimed, you have trained your daughter for these situations. Which department do you work in? I said, I am an accountant, but due to the situations we have faced we had to make them ready for this. When she was small Lena was kidnapped and we got her back after 6 years. Oh, he said, I am sorry, you had to face these situations. I said, we know someone from the department, who deals in these situations. I will call my boss to speak to them. If he speaks they will take note immediately. I rang up Mr. Godrej and explained the situation. They have not asked for anything at this point, we expect they are after money. He asked, can he arrange for the money? 105. I said, we don't know how much they are about to ask, maybe he can arrange some amount. I asked, Trivedi, how much he can manage. He said, I don't know, I can borrow from some friends, may up to 50 lakhs. Okay, we will deal with that when they ask for money. My boss told me he will ring up his contact person immediately. Trivedi said, but they said we should not contact the police. I said, they all say that, don't worry, police know what they are doing, we should follow their instructions and our children will be safe. Please look into collecting some cash, if the need arises. After some time, Mr. Godrej called and said, I spoke to the person in charge, and they said they will start monitoring and surveillance immediately. They will be sending someone. When they call give them your address and phone numbers. I said, okay, and he cut the call. After half an hour we received the call that their team is ready and took our address and telephone numbers likely to be called and said they will hear within the hour. Now it is 4:40 a.m., and we are waiting for the team to arrive. I went to the gate and waited for their arrival. After 20 minutes they arrived in a cleaning crew van. I instructed the guard to let them pass. Trivedi already called him up and instructed him to follow our instructions. They came inside and parked at a side shown by the guards. Someone walking by asked, "What is happening?" One of the people said, "We came to clean up the building. We received the order from the society." Mumbling something about not being informed in the meeting, he went away. They brought the equipment to the lift and reached the 12th floor. He introduced himself as DCP Paramveer. I introduced myself as Kumar and introduced Trivedi. I said, both of our daughters were kidnapped. He instructed the other to set up the systems. He continued the interview with us. He asked, "Where do you think they could have been kidnapped?" I said, "They informed us that they are going to the club for house a night." He asked, "With whom did they go, have you any idea?" Sahithi interjected here and said, "They were taken there by Rahul, who studies in their college and is a senior to them. I know their family for some time." "Do you have their number?" he asked. She said, "I don't think they have any number. I might have their address." She rummaged through her bag and brought out a small notebook. She looked through the book and gave them Rahul's address. He sent a constable to verify that address and call from there. By the time they have arranged their equipment and are ready for any call. 107. Chapter 2. Lena. It must be early morning. Light started coming through the glass windows. No one came inside except to take Sheila's mobile. Some talks can be heard from the other room, but it is not clear what they are saying. One or two names can be heard. Raj and RK Sir were the two names used most. Who are they? Are they involved with this or is some kind of contact they were talking about? I tried to speak to Sheila, but my throat became dry and only coarse words came out. Sheila looked at me. I asked, "How are you feeling?" She said, "Like hell." My throat became dry. I said, "Mine too." "What do you think they are doing?" She said, "They must be planning how much to ask and where to get it delivered." I asked, "What is your family's position for paying the ransom?" She said, "I know my family has money, but I don't know what my dad can pay at a short notice. Maybe he can ask for a loan from his business contacts. I don't have any idea about money. I only know what he gives me a monthly allowance. I think they will not ask them to bring money here. They may ask it to be paid at an isolated place or a public place. If they ask us to bring it to a public place, they will not take us there. If they ask them to bring the money to an isolated place, they may take us with them. But there is only a slight chance of that." She was just listening to all this with an open mouth. She asked, "How do you know all this?" I said, "I read books in my free time. Also, my father taught me all this as a precaution. You know I have been kidnapped as a child and also my mother was kidnapped for some papers. So, he had taught me all this. I didn't tell you but I learned karate and defensive fighting. You are lucky that I am with you, don't worry. I'm here with you." All this I was telling her in a low voice. One person put his head through the door and looked at us. I signed him for some water. He turned back and said, "They are awake and she is asking for water." Someone said from behind, "Then go and give them water." He closed the door and brought a glass of water to us. First, he took the water to Sheila and made her drink a little and then brought it to me and put it in my mouth. I drank a little. It burned my throat due to dryness. I got a little cough. I stopped drinking and then asked him to give me more by signs. He let me have some more water and went away. I asked, "Sheila, did she recognize him?" She said, "His face is not visible, but he seems to be around the canteen. I think I saw a person like him in the canteen, maybe canteen staff." I said, "I also felt I have seen him somewhere, as you said maybe in the canteen. If we can see his face we might recognize him." I started thinking if he is around the canteen either they are using the people around us or they were planning for a long time. I think another way, they are using the people around where people move around. Like hotels and colleges. They target people where they can get some money like Sheila. They must have studied their family status. Sometimes, what happens is people act more than they are actually worth. Then it would be a problem. What is the actual status of Sheila's father? I think by this time Dad must have been involved in the kidnapping drama. If he could get out of my mom without any financial loss, he could do the same for us also. Even though these people must have told them not to involve the police must have been involved by now. Let us wait and see. Looking at Sheila, I said, "Don't worry, your father will do the needful." Kumar. It has been an hour since they set up the equipment and sat around waiting for the phone call. Even when someone called, Trivedi said, "I will call later," and cut the call. As time passes, Trivedi is getting restless. He is saying they are not calling. I said, they must be deciding what to ask or where to bring the money. Hearing these words, he calmed a little. He sat down on the sofa near the phone. He keeps staring at the phone. It is around 7:15 a.m. when the phone rang. He looked at the technician who was handling the equipment. He nodded to pick it up. 109. Trivedi lifted the receiver and said, "Hello," in a coarse voice. After hearing what was said on the other side, then he said, "Okay, I will do that." Then he listened and said, "I have not informed anyone." He put down the phone and said, "They are asking for a 1 crore rupees as ransom and he is telling me not to inform the police. I have not informed the police, you have, so I have not told any lies." I smiled at him and said, "Can you manage that amount?" He said, "I might collect around 50 lakhs from friends and my liquid assets." DCP said, "Do you want to give your money or do you want us to help in this matter?" Trivedi asked, "How will you help? I can't collect that much money in such a short time." DCP said, "I can arrange the money, which we keep for this kind of situation. The money will be marked and some money contains exploding colors. If the seal is broken it will release a dye, which can't be removed and it will take years to clear off." Trivedi said, "Okay, that would be a better idea. Even collecting from friends, and selling stocks would take some time." DCP said, "I will arrange for the money. When did they say they are expecting the money?" "They gave us 1 day to collect the money." I asked, "Only a day? They should give us more time." DCP received the call from the constable who went to Rahul's house. He reported that he has not returned home yesterday night. His parents are not aware of his whereabouts. He does not have a mobile phone. They are saying if the girls are kidnapped he would have been kidnapped with them. You stay there and see if he returns home. If he returns home, bring him here." He said, "Okay." Sheila. I don't know what I would do without Lena. She gave me strength by telling me soothing words. Her words have an effect on me that brought my inner strength out. I feel confident about our getting out of this situation in one piece. These situations are horrible. We were tied to chairs for how long? I don't know, at least for the last 4 or 5 hours. It is very cramping to sit in one place for so long. I think one should have the training to face this kind of situation. They show in the movies, they are tied and tortured. We could not sit for this long. How did they bear the torture? If they come near I would say what they want, without them even touching me. What is the time now? I couldn't see my watch. I asked, Lena, what is the time? She also couldn't see her watch and said, must be 7 a.m. from the light outside looking at the windows. How long we have stayed here like this? Hearing the time, I felt the need to go to the toilet. I shouted, I want to go to the toilet. No one responded. Lena also shouted, either there is no one or they could not hear through the door. It is not possible they could not hear through the door. We heard voices through the door. So, no one must be there on the other side of the door. So, what should we do, for the toilet? I asked, Lena, what should we do? Kumar. Around noon Trivedi received a call. After the go-ahead from the team he picked up the receiver, and I picked up headphones and put them to my ears. Trivedi said, hello, the other side asked, are you able to collect the money? Trivedi said, you said 24 hours. The other side said, are you able to collect the money or not? Trivedi looked at me. I mouthed yes. Trivedi asked, I can manage the money, where should we bring it? He said, I will give you a call in an hour, and cut the call. I looked at DCP. He said, we are getting the money here. We have a specially made bag. It has tracking, what is called a global positioning system. It works through satellites. Even though we don't have proper satellites here, we can use US satellites. If satellites are unreachable, we have another system. It will locate the bag within a 2 kilometers area. We can track the bag through this also. I said to Trivedi, nice technology. When the money arrives, you tell them you are ready with the money. Where should I bring the money? Stress the word I. Don't use we. Trivedi said, okay. We sat down and waited for the call. 111. After 1.5 hours we received the call to bring the money to the area as follows. If you go from Santa Cruz west towards Juhu, there comes a road to the left which goes to a dead end at Juhu Vijayawada and the right goes to Juhu beach. You go to the dead end and go to the beach and our men will come and collect the money from you there. Trivedi said, how do I know those are your men? They will say have you brought Sheila's money, then hand it over to them. Trivedi said, okay. And the line was cut. I said, I will go to the dead end and wait there beforehand. Send a plainclothes man with me. They think they can get away from there after collecting the money. I took my car and went over there with Sahithi. We went over to the last building before the beach. It was a 2-story tiled house. We thought the first floor balcony would be a good place for a lookout. I went up and knocked on the door. One short, bald and fat man opened the door. Seeing us both he said, what can I do? I said, I am Kumar and she is my wife Sahithi. He said, glad to meet you. I am D'Souza. I said, showing the plainclothes policeman he is a policeman. We have not come for you, and told the policeman to show his ID. He showed his ID, and D'Souza checked and said, okay. Our daughter has been kidnapped and the kidnapper asked us to bring the money to the beach, and showed him the beach opposite his house. So, we want to sit here and watch the transaction. He said, okay, you can do it from here. We set up a camera in a strategic place for taking photos. It would be hidden from the road. It is a very good place. Thank you, Mr. D'Souza. It is our pleasure to help, D'Souza said. He provided 3 chairs for us to sit in. He brought 3 cups of tea and gave us. I said, thank you very much. D'Souza said, you are welcome, ask for anything. He went inside. After some time, a girl came up the stairs. She was tall, slim and dark. She must be his daughter. He came out and said, she is my elder daughter, she is working as a nurse. I said, good. After some time one fair, short and slim girl came up. She looked at us and stopped in front. He came out and said, they are sitting on police business, and said to us, she is my youngest daughter, Nikita. I said, glad to meet you. She went inside. She was asking in a low voice what had happened. He said, in a low voice their daughter was kidnapped and kidnappers were exchanging the money at the beach. They are keeping surveillance. The man with them is a police constable. I checked his ID also. She said, okay. She came out and said, I am sorry about your daughter. What age is she? I said, she is in the 11th standard. She asked, which college? I said, Mithabai. Okay, good, she said, and went inside. It is around 5 p.m. I received a call from the DCP that they fixed the time around 5:30 for the transfer. We sat looking at the road for any movement. I called D'Souza and told him to tell us if any new people are moving around in the gully. He sat with us looking at the road. Constable sat behind the camera ready to take photos. We are sitting with full attention to the transfer of the ransom. At 5:34 we saw the car belonging to Trivedi coming toward us. Constable photographed the arrival. Next, we waited for them to show up on the beach. No one arrived. We waited till 6 p.m. and I rang up DCP to say that the kidnappers have not arrived for collecting the ransom. He said, wait for some more time. I said, it is getting dark, we can't photograph them any longer. He said, look around, anyone suspicious persons are moving. I said, we are trying that for the last hour. Only the residents are moving around. We have the house owner confirm the same. He knows all the people around here. When it became too dark, I went down to the Trivedi's car and said, we should return. You start and we will follow you to your house. 113. I returned to the D'Souza house and thanked him for providing support. He said, it is my pleasure. I said, if you need any help please ask us, and gave him my card. He took the card and said, if you need any typewriting repairs please tell me. I said, I will certainly inform you if we need anything, and came down. We sat in the car and drove over to Trivedi's residence. By the time we reached his house, it is around 8:15 p.m. We parked outside the gate and went inside. By the lift, Trivedi met us. We all rode up to his flat. He rang the bell and his servant opened the door. DCP said, we have received a message from Jogeshwari police station that 2 girls have contacted their police station that they have escaped from kidnappers and they have shown them the kidnappers who were bound up on chairs. They have asked to call their father. When they called, DCP has taken the call and asked them to arrest and take them to their police station and he will come and complete the formalities. I asked, shall we go and collect our kids? He said, they are already being brought here. Everyone is happy that the kids are returned without any problem. Lena. We have been brought to Sheila's house in a police car. We went up and hugged our parents. They asked us how we have rescued ourselves from the kidnappers. I explained in detail the events that conspired today. Sheila said, I had to go to the toilet very urgently. I shouted and no one came. We thought no one might be there. We were thinking about what to do. Then I shouted again. One man came with a monkey cap on his face. I said we had to go to the toilet. He looked at both of us thinking about whom to free first. He thought I am important. My father will provide the money. So, he freed me first and took me to the toilet and brought me back and tied me and then he untied Lena next. As I did not try anything, boldened by my inaction, he was a little easy with Lena. He freed her legs first and then he freed her hands. When Lena was sure he freed her, she kicked him in the groin. He caught his groin and started rolling on the ground. I kicked him once more and went and untied Sheila. Then both of us tied him to the chair. We put some old clothes in his mouth, so he would not shout when someone comes. Then we found 2 wooden pieces and went and stood near the door. Then another man came looking for the first man. When he entered through the door, he turned toward me and was surprised. Then Lena hit him on the head, and we both tied him also, and came out and inquired about a police station nearby and informed the police about the kidnapping and tying the kidnappers. They went to collect the kidnappers from the warehouse. And we asked them to call our father. When they called Sheila's house number the police DSP spoke to them and rest you know. This is what we told our parents. If you keenly listen to this story you would find some inconsistency in the timings. Yes, it has not happened as we told the story. Someone came to help us out. It was around 3 p.m, we called out for a glass of water. We heard some sounds outside and someone came inside and he was not wearing a hoodie. He was having a knife in his hand. Sheila said, don't hurt us. One of them said, shish, to Sheila. She kept quiet. He came and cut her rope and then mine. He asked us to help tie the people outside the room. With their help, we brought and tied them down. We came out. He closed the door and asked, where is the nearest police station? Another person said, must be Jogeshwari police station. We sat in his car and he drove us to the police station. He told us not to mention them, or we will get in trouble with our boss. He will scold us. So, you make up your story and tell them you have done this on your own. We nodded our heads and they dropped outside the police station and reminded us not to mention them. So, we went inside and told the police and showed their hideout and they caught them. Kumar. We are happy that our daughters have returned safe and sound. Also, they got a chance to show their fearlessness through their actions. Now Sheila's confidence also must have improved. My training paid off at last. I asked them if Rahul was responsible for their kidnapping. Lena said, it does not seem to be the case. 115. We said goodbyes to Trivedi. I asked Trivedi, what is your first name, and he said, Kurat. I said, good to meet you Kurat, and we went home. When we reached home both Reena and Atul came and hugged Lena. I told Lena to take a rest, as they already had something to eat at Sheila's house. Lena. When they asked if Rahul was responsible we told them he may not be responsible. But we know he is somehow responsible. We had to find out how he is responsible. I told Sheila that, we will take our revenge. Why should we involve our elders? That is both of our views. We went to college normally. We came out during the break and went to Rahul's locker. We have seen him entering the combination multiple times. I remembered the combination and entered it and the lock opened. We looked inside, there was money in the back of the locker under some books. We picked the money with a handkerchief and they were 1,000 rupee notes bundle and some notes were removed. The bundle must be 1 lakh. Where did he get the money? Did the kidnappers give him the money to help them? We replaced the money where we found it and closed and locked the locker. So, it is confirmed he had helped the kidnappers for money. I told Sheila to act as if we don't know anything about Rahul. He did not come that day to the college. The next day he came to the college with a sling to his hand as if his hand is hurt. We went to him and showed sympathy for the hand and Sheila asked, "What happened to your hand?" He said, "When I was waiting for you outside the toilets, someone hit me on the head and I fell on my hand. When I woke up I was in the hospital, they only discharged me today morning." I thought, tell more lies, we are waiting for you, you are acting as if you don't know anything. From that day onwards, Sheila started acting more friendlier than before with Rahul. Our first aim is to make him spend all the money he collected from the kidnappers. One day I wore a small chain with a locket. I showed it to Sheila in front of Rahul. Sheila said, "Oh, so nice, I want one." The next day he brought her a chain with a locket with the letters RS. He has taken her to the restaurant for a dinner, I accompanied them. This way we made him spend all the money. When his pockets emptied, he could not offer to give her anything. We thought he has used all the money he had with him. She started a fight with him. He said, "I can't talk with you," and went away. The next time he tried to talk to her, she turned her head away. This way she tried to keep him away. He could not tell anyone what happened to him. After some time, whatever gifts he had given her, she sold for whatever she could get and donated the money. This way we have taken our revenge on him. Kumar. After 2 weeks of the kidnapping drama, Trivedi called us to his house for lunch. We have connected with him but we could not speak much about ourselves before. So, we went to his house on a Sunday. They have prepared Gujarati-style food. We enjoyed lunch and after lunch, we sat down and we chatted about our lives. He thanked us for the support at the time of the kidnapping. I said, our daughter was also had been in trouble. However, everything went well for our daughters. Did the police inform anything about the kidnappers? One person named Raj and another boy who was working in the canteen in the college. He was paid by Raj to inform them about the rich students in the college. Then Raj would inquire about the families of the students informed by the server. Now, who has employed Raj is the question. He says a person named RK has employed him. He always meets him in the hotel suite he was staying in. The room was booked by a fake person with a fake address. There was no one at the address mentioned in the register. They are trying to find the person who was staying in the room. If they get any lead, they will follow the lead and they will inform us. He got up and brought a gift for Lena and said, "This is for your bravery." She said, "Thanks," and picked the gift. Inside the box, she found the latest brand of mobile phone. She is happy to receive the mobile phone. She said to Sheila, "Now we can keep in touch." Lena. 117. Sheila's father has given me a mobile phone for saving his daughter from kidnappers. Now both of us can keep in touch. Our next plan is to find who has kidnapped us. Rahul might know who it was. But according to the police, they failed to find who is Raj's boss. Even though he might have met him, he may not know the full details. What other way we can find out about him? There does not seem to be any way. The persons who have saved us might know. But we never saw them again. We have to think about the ways. We need to brainstorm on this point. Kumar. I don't think we need to care for who has kidnapped our daughters anymore. He may not try to harm them. It seems he has only limited members with him, which is the reason for his failure. With Trivedi, I have discussed the repercussions of the kidnapping. I don't think they will try to do the same again with us. The kids seem to have returned to normal, rather their confidence has increased by giving them a beating and throwing them in jail. They feel invincible. I told them don't be complacent. Always be on the lookout for danger. Sheila. Dad gave Lena the latest mobile phone. It is better than the one I am having. But I am happy that he has rewarded her this way. What she did that day could not be done by any boy. She had shown incredible courage and she had shown me the way. Now I know not to believe anyone blindly. But we have taken revenge on Rahul. I will be careful in the future. Lena. We want to continue our revenge on Rahul. We don't want him to be studying in our college anymore. We started a rumor that he got a lakh of rupees and he blew that money on gambling. It changed mouths and finally became he blew the money on bar dancers. Everyone started to look at him like an untouchable. Unable to bear the harassment from his friends, he took TC and went away. It is very easy to ruin one's reputation. To earn a reputation is very difficult. He has paid for his misdeeds. Sheila trusted him and he let her down. She should have punished him for his deeds. What we have done is a small lesson he should remember for his life. Now we want to get on with our lives. Chapter 3. 2006 month of January. Sahithi. I don't know what happened, but Rahul's parents stopped speaking with me. They saw me and crossed over to the other side of the road. Forget them, who cares? Lena's birthday is coming up. She will be 16 this year. What kind of birthday party she would want, I have to check with her. After last year's kidnapping drama, she became a bolder and much more confident girl. Sometimes it goes extreme as she would speak up when not necessary. But I let it go as the girls need to be this way in the present world. I went to Lena's room. She is preparing for college. I asked, how do you want to celebrate your birthday? She said, how your birthday is like to be celebrated. I said, don't joke with me, shall I have the birthday party here at the house? Lena replied okay. I said, you can call your friends. You tell me how many are coming, and I will arrange dinner accordingly. She said, okay. Kumar. Sahithi said, I am arranging a birthday party for Lena. You can call your friends and let me know how many are coming. I said, okay. First, I called Trivedi and called them to come with his family. From our office, I called our MD and other staff who are close to me at the office. It seems to be a big party, so I advised them to have it on the terrace. Sahithi said okay to the proposal. Lena. Mom asked me to call my friends for the party. Sheila will be there and the other friends I have invited. Dad said he also invited Sheila's family. We had a good birthday party this year. 119. Kumar. All the kids were having a party on the terrace. Sahithi is overseeing the party. I took Mr. Trivedi and my friends to the flat and I entertained them with drinks. After a long time, I met Raj, Krishna, Shikhar and Harry. Harry returned on leave. I told them about the kidnapping story of Lena and Sheila. I introduced Mr. Trivedi as Sheila's father. They said to Mr. Trivedi that his daughter is a brave girl. He said, both are brave girls. How they could have gotten away from the kidnappers is a brave thing to do. They all agreed to that. They were served dinner in the flat and the four of them left together. Then Mr. Trivedi called his daughter and his wife to go home. One by one the guests left and we were left to clean the house and terrace. I asked, Lena, how is the party? She said, the best party I had until now. I said, the credit should go to your mother, who arranged the party. She kissed her mother and said, thanks for the party. Lena. We plan to study at Sheila's house for the 11th final exams. We studied hard and got good grades on the exams. We spent the summer holidays watching movies on the TV and spending time with friends. We went shopping in the fashion street and brought many dresses. The summer holidays were completed and we were back to college. Chapter 4. The year 2007. Kumar. It was raining heavily. They were unseasonal rains brought on by depression in the Arabian Sea. I am returning from Pune where I went to check the accounts of our branch office. It was around 8 p.m. and we just entered Mumbai. The driver is driving carefully due to the heavy rain. From behind a car came driving rashly and overtaking us and crashed on the curve into a ditch. Our driver stopped the car and we rushed to the spot. The other car driver is trying to get out and we went and helped him to come out. He said, "Madam is in the back seat." We opened the back door with difficulty and she was on the floor of the car. We brought her out and checked her pulse. Her pulse is thread and I decided to take her to the nearest hospital. I remember there is a hospital on the way. I asked the drivers to lift her and put her in our car. I sat in the car and pulled her in and put her head on my lap and sat. The other car driver sat in the front and our driver drove to the hospital. When we reached the hospital, the driver got out in a hurry, went inside and they brought a stretcher and put her on that and took her inside. We went behind them and they took her to the emergency room and we waited outside. I asked the driver for the details of the lady. He said, her name is Loveleen Khanna and she is MD for an interior designing firm. They were delayed to a party and she said to go fast. When they crossed our car, he lost control as he missed the turn and crashed into the ditch. I asked, "Do you know any relatives of hers?" He said, "She was divorced, and he has a number for their manager." We called from the payphone at the hospital and no one picked up and they might be at the party. I asked, "Do you have the phone number for the party place?" He said, "I did not have any other number." 121. Her purse we left in her car. The doctor came out and asked, "Who has come with her?" I said, "We brought her." He said, "She needed immediate brain surgery, can you arrange for the money?" Without another thought, I showed him my business card and said, "I will arrange for the money, you go ahead and make arrangements for the surgery." I called our chairman and said, "I need the money urgently for surgery." He said, he will arrange the money and send it to the hospital with his driver. I said to the nurse the money was arranged and will reach in half an hour. They started the surgery preparations and our MD's driver reached with the cash. We deposited the cash at the counter. They informed the surgeon about the cash deposit. We went and waited at the operation theater. After 4 hours the surgeon came and said, "We have to wait for her to come out of anesthesia to tell anything about her condition. You better go home and come back in the morning, she will not be conscious until then." I asked the doctor, "Shall I leave the driver here?" He said, "Not needed, you better come tomorrow, we will take care of her until then. We have your number, if anything is needed we will give you a ring." I said to the other car driver, "Come, I will drop you at wherever you want." We dropped the driver and reached home. Sahithi was waiting for us. She asked for the status of the lady in the car. I said, "It will be known only tomorrow. Let us go to sleep." I got up as usual, brushed, had coffee and had a bath and readied myself. After breakfast, our driver arrived, and I went with him to the hospital. The nurse informed me, "She has not gained consciousness and that the doctor would arrive soon, and then you can speak with him." I went to her room and sat down in a chair beside her bed. Her head was bandaged and she was given oxygen through an oxygen mask and glucose through an IV. I took her hand in mine. I felt a sensation run through me. I felt as if I knew her for a long time. I tried to remember meeting her at any time. I couldn't recollect ever meeting her. I held her hand and stroked her hand. After perhaps half an hour, she opened her eyes and asked, "Where am I?" I said, "You are in a hospital. You met with an accident yesterday night and we were passing and brought you to this hospital. They performed emergency brain surgery as you had a head injury." She asked, "Who has come for me?" I replied, "No one came, and we did not have any details with us." She asked, "If no one came, who paid for the surgery? It would cost a lot." I said, "I arranged for the payment, you can think of the payment later. Can I call anyone?" She said, "My ex-husband is in Delhi. We had a big quarrel before the divorce and he might not come. My parents are no more. Practically I don't have anyone. I will call my manager to arrange for the payment." I said, "Don't worry about payment, we are there for you. Don't worry about anything." In the meantime, the doctor arrived and checked her and said, "You had a miraculous escape. Your surgery is successful and you will recover in no time. You are conscious and your memory does not seem to be affected. It is a good sign." He said to me, "You have acted in the nick of time. If we waited for someone from her side, we could not say what could have happened." She said, looking at me, "Thanks for everything." I sat there holding her hand. After some time Sahithi came with chairman to visit. Mr. Godrej wanted to see what was so urgent that I had asked for money. I introduced them to Loveleen. They spoke to her for some time and went back to the office. I tried reaching the manager of her firm but there was no reply. After some time, her driver came and informed her that the office was closed today due to yesterday's party and they are given a holiday. She said, "It is okay. Go and arrange for the car to be towed and repaired. Inform the insurance and do the needful." 123. He left. I was left alone with her and asked, "What is your story?" She told her story slowly. How her parents fixed her marriage with a person brought by some relatives. How it has come out that he was impotent and they divorced him. She has started her own interior designing firm and running it. She has gone out of the city and was returning in a hurry for a party where she was supposed to get a big order. How due to the rain she was delayed and asked the driver to go fast and he had an accident. Rest you know. After completing her story, she asked about me. I said, "You have met my wife Sahithi and my MD who had come to visit. I am working with him as chief accountant. I have 3 kids, eldest is Leena, the second is Reena and the third son is Atul." She asked, "Your wife is Maharashtrian and you seem South Indian." I said, "Ours is a sort of love marriage. We knew each other for some time and when I joined the firm she was already working as PA to the chairman. We restarted from there and were married for 17 years. She said, "It is a long time to live together." I said, "We had our ups and downs, we went through them together. We had our daughter kidnapped at age of 1 and found her after 6 years. Recently she was kidnapped along with her college mate. They both got out with their bravery before we could pay the ransom. We kept chatting and she was not tired, instead it helped her recover. In the evening the doctor visited her and checked and informed us that she is recovering very fast. At this rate she can be discharged early." She thanked me and said, "Your chatting helped me relieve the tension in my heart." I said, "When I saw you in the car, I felt a connection to you and wanted to save you under any circumstances. That's why I have not wasted a single second telling the doctor to go ahead with the surgery. I immediately arranged for the money to pay the hospital." She said, "I felt the same way when I awoke and you were there in front of me holding my hand. I was breaking my head trying to remember where I had met you." Her driver returned with some money and gave her. She said, "Check with the hospital if they need any money to be paid to them." The driver went away to check with the manager. I said, "We had deposited enough to cover all the charges, you don't worry about the bills." She was discharged after 1 week. I said to her, "Come and stay with us for some time. You don't seem to have anyone to look after you. At our house, you can spend some time with our kids as time pass." She agreed to my suggestion and I took her to our house. Sahithi was pissed off at first for not taking her permission. When Leena saw her she said, "Loveleen auntie, where is Dhruv?" Loveleen asked, "Who is Dhruv and how do you know me? Did your dad tell you about me?" Leena asked, "Did you not recognize me? I am Leena, we are your neighbors and Dhruv is your son. He must be 2 years now. Did you forget everything after the accident?" She looked at me as to what is she talking about. I said, "After coming back from kidnapping, she is talking like that only. She is saying I have a software firm near your house. The first house is our firm and the second house we stayed in and the third house belongs to you. She must be dreaming all these days." Loveleen called her near and kissed her and said, "Now we will stay close by, okay? And I don't know about Dhruv, maybe I will get a son and name him Dhruv." She has connected with kids and she spends time speaking with them. She got them gifts and showered them with love. She stayed with us for 2 weeks. She reluctantly said, "I would like to go to my house." She packed her bags and she called her driver. She invited the kids to visit her whenever possible. I took her house phone number and office number. She told us that she will get our house decorated and send her executive. When her workers came, she personally came to supervise the work. She asked the kids for a picnic. They agreed and Leena said she wants to bring her friend Sheila with her and Loveleen agreed to it. Out of the 3, she liked Atul and she pampers him. Whenever she comes home she would bring something for him. We thought as he is the youngest, she pampers him. She used to make an excuse to come to our house. 125. I had to go to Pune on an urgent matter. My driver took a week's leave. No other driver is available from our office. I asked Loveleen to loan her driver for going to Pune. She said, she will drop me off and pick me up as she is also going to Pune. I agreed to her proposal and we went to Pune in her car. We chatted on the way and generally enjoyed each other's company. She gave me her number in Pune to call up when I completed my work. I called her in the evening to say I had to stay overnight as I have not completed my work and if she wants she can return. She asked, where are staying, and I gave her my hotel name and number. She reached my hotel around 8 p.m. and came up to my room. I was surprised to find her there. I invited her in and asked, did you get another room? They don't allow guests to stay overnight. She said, I told the reception I am your wife and got the room upgraded to a double room. I asked, do you want to drink something? She asked, what do you have? I looked in the fridge and said, there are some cool drinks. She said, let us go to a restaurant. I dressed up and we went to a nearby bar and restaurant. I ordered drinks for both of us and we sat sipping our drinks. Then we ordered dinner and came back to the hotel. We watched TV for some time chatting. Then I told her to sleep on the bed and I will sleep on the sofa. I took a pillow and bedsheet, went and lay on the sofa. She called me and said, why don't you sleep here? I said, I am sorry, I will not sleep with any lady other than my wife. You be comfortable there. I got up and ordered coffee and woke her up. She woke up and took the coffee cup from me and said, good morning. I said, good morning. I am going to the office, do you want to keep the room? She asked, when does your work will be completed? I said, today most probably. Then I will stay in the room, let me know when you are returning. I said, okay, I will do that. I went and had a bath and dressed up and ordered breakfast. We had breakfast and she said, she will drop me at the office. I said, it is close by, I will go on a walk. My work got completed by 2 p.m. I rang her up and said, I am ready to go to Mumbai. She said, she will come to my office in half an hour. I said, I will be ready. I came out of the gate when I received her call. I got in the car and she asked, do you want to go to Mumbai or shall we spend some time here, possibly watching a movie? I thought for a minute and said, let us go to a movie. She must be craving my company, she came all this way for me, I should do something in return. We went to a nearby theater, took tickets and sat down. She linked her hand to mine and sat. I did not mind it. I made myself clear yesterday night. I am sure she would not dare to do it again. A little closeness would not matter. After the completion of the movie, we started for Mumbai. On the way, we stopped and had samosa and tea. We continued our journey to Mumbai. She again locked her hand in mine and sat. I moved a little near to her. She put her head on my shoulder. I touched my head on her head and moved it away. We sat enjoying each other company. She dropped me at my flat and went away. I opened the door and went inside. Sahithi asked, why delayed? I explained to her I had to stay back to complete work and told her what happened in the night with Loveleen. Lena. Our exams finished and the summer holidays have started. We have done well in our exams and I expect an A+ grade in my results. We were sitting in the canteen and brainstorming what to take in BSc. One of our science teachers came and asked, what are you doing here? 127. I said, we are discussing what to take as a major in our degree. She said, take biology. I asked, why? She replied that it has a great future. Now everyone will be running to take up computer science and she explained what else can be done with the subject. After speaking with her we decided to take biology as our major in our degree. Sahithi. After their return from Pune, Loveleen approached me and asked me, give for adoption one of our kids. I rejected her request and said, how can I give one of my kids to you in adoption? She showed her disappointment and said, I could not live alone. I asked, why don't you take some orphans for adoption? She said, I don't want any orphans, I like your kids. Out of frustration, I said, then come and stay here. She said, it is a good idea. Loveleen. I wanted to adopt one of Kumar's kids. I asked Sahithi, but she refused my request. But she gave a better idea to come and stay with them. I saw for sale board in their society. I will buy a flat there and I can be closer to them. What an idea. I asked the watchman who else is staying there on their floor and likely to sell. He said, one of the neighbors who stay on Kumar's left side is going over to the USA. I asked the watchman to speak to them about selling their flat. I will give a good price. He had a word with them and took me to meet them. They are ready to sell with furniture and all. I don't need the furniture but I took it as it is at the price suggested by them. I gave some commission to the watchman. They said they will be going in a week's time and asked me to let them use it until then. When they vacated, I put aside unnecessary things and told the watchman to dispose of them and keep the money. I removed some of the items and gave them to the watchman. Some of the furniture I will get repaired by my staff. I gave the flat to my staff to redecorate as per my choice. I got the second bedroom as a children's room. In a month's time, the house was ready for occupation. On a good day, I got the housewarming ceremony done and started living there. Now I can visit the kids anytime. Sahithi. On an angry note, I told Loveleen to come and stay here. She did just that. She brought the side-by flat and started living here. I told Kumar that she seems to be stalking us. He said, she must be feeling lonely, she doesn't have any close relatives. She must be considering us as only close people. She also likes our kids, especially Atul. She has formed a bond with him. Have you seen the kids' room in her flat? It seems she has got that room done for them only. I fear she might try to take away our kids. He said, she is not that kind of lady, she wants to keep close to our kids only. Have you seen what kind of gifts she gives them? I said, she asked me to give one of our children for adoption. He said, what, you did not tell me. I said, she must be asking just like that, without any intention of going ahead with that. At least you could have warned me, he said. I kept thinking that she would try to get our kids away from us. But her actions did not seem to do that. She would say to the kids, your mum would be waiting, go home. It seems she just wants to spend some time with the kids. I watched her actions for some time and thought that she is harmless. Loveleen. One day I went to see the children after coming from the office. Kumar opened the door and said, Sahithi and the kids went to her parents' place. I went and sat on the sofa. We were talking about this and that. 129. I asked, what are you doing for dinner? He said, I will prepare something. I said, come to my flat, I will prepare something for us both. We both went to my flat. I brought a bottle of whiskey with 2 glasses and placed them on the table. I brought some snacks to go with the drinks. He poured 2 drinks and I sat down and sipped with him. He asked, are you missing the children? I said, I came early to see them and they went away. I really miss kids. I divorced for the kids. But I did not find anyone I liked. So, I stayed single. When I saw your kids, I felt I should have had kids. I thought about asking you, but you kept me away. I don't know what to do. Kumar. She said, she wanted kids, and started crying. I sat beside her and tried to console her. I kept patting her head for a long time. After some time, she stopped crying and kept staring at the wall. I took her hand in mine and asked, how can I help you? She asked, do you really want to help me? I said, yes. She said, then give me a child. I said, how can I give you a child? Sahithi will not agree, she loves our children very much. Once she thought she lost Lena, she was inconsolable for a long time. Until we brought Lena back she was not herself. She would never agree to that. She is already doubting you for coming and staying here. She thinks you would take her children away. Loveleen thought for some time and said, I don't want your kids. I want a child of my own. I said, then find a man and marry again. I did not find anyone, that's why I am asking for your help. I said, shall I find someone for you to marry? She said, I don't want to marry, I want a kid from you. I said, I already made it clear to you, that I will not sleep with you. She said, then give me a kid through artificial insemination. I am ready to spend any amount on that. I said, I don't know if I can give you kids through that. She said, let us try one time. I said, don't tell Sahithi I helped you, she would throw me out. She said, if she threw you out, you can come and live with me. I said, it seems you want me to be thrown out. She said, nothing like that, if ever you were in trouble with your wife you can come and stay with me. I said, if I do that she would give me a divorce. She said, don't worry about all that, tell me, do you want to help me or not? I said, that is what I am telling you, if you promise not to tell Sahithi, then I will help you. She said, okay, I will tell her I got it from a sperm bank. I said, first let us go and get ourselves checked. But remember your promise. If ever you tell her, I will never see your face again in my life. She said, I promise on my unborn child. The next day we went to a fertility clinic. I gave my sperm for checking. She asked them if her eggs were viable for bearing children. We got reports after 1 week. They were viable and they gave us a date. I took her to the center on that day. Sahithi asked, where are you taking Loveleen? I said, she is trying for kids through artificial insemination through a donor. They found a donor for her and they gave a date for her to come, so I am taking her there for moral support. I took her there and they did the required procedures. After 3 months her pregnancy is confirmed. 131. Chapter 5. The year 2008. Loveleen. I am happy at last I got a baby of my own. I named him Dhruv as Lena suggested. He is a bundle of joy. Even though I got a kid of my own I have not stopped loving Kumar's kids. I feel like they are my own kids and I love them like one. Lena. We saw a news item in the paper about the haunted houses in and around Mumbai. It has become a hot topic in the canteen. Some guys are talking about daring to go and spend the night at those haunted houses. I came home and asked, Dad, are there ghosts? Dad said, we don't know for sure about the ghosts. But the world is filled with positive and negative energy. Sometimes negative energy manifests as ghosts. It swirls around you and makes you dizzy and you feel as if a ghost has come near you. I asked, how to face them and not fear them. He said, when I am small I learned some mantras, which made me fearless when faced with such situations. I will teach you the mantra to face these negative energies, which removes your fear of them. He told me the mantra and said, you have to recite this mantra repeatedly, which will give you the power to face them. If you feel any negative energy around you, you can recite the mantra and your fear would vanish. To attain the power, it would take some time as it has to remove the negative energy from yourself. I started to recite the mantra at certain times in the morning after having a bath. After 10 days I got a chance to test the power of the mantra. On a Saturday night, the guys decided to spend a night at one of the haunted houses. I said, I will also come with them to the haunted house. They laughed at me, girls get scared at the small sound, how can you come? Which made me more determined to go with them. Seeing my boldness, Sheila said, I will also come with them. They must have thought taking the girls with them would bring some authenticity to their quest, so they agreed to take us with them. Seeing us girls 2 more guys have shown interest to come. At last, the group of 8 people decided to visit the haunted house. We collected torches, emergency lights, video cameras and some food items and water and went to the haunted house by 6 p.m. We divided into 2 groups of 4 people each. Sheila said, I will accompany you. So, we have Rakesh and Sharma in our group. Rakesh took the camera and a torch. I and Sheila have our phone cameras and Sharma took an emergency light. At around 7 o'clock after having some snacks, we started exploring the house. It was written in the newspaper, it was a mental hospital in the past. It was closed due to some murders in the hospital by a patient. It was also mentioned in the newspaper that the ghost of the patient and his victims roam the hospital. In the other group, we have Akalesh, Ritesh, Samir and Manjrekar. They took a camera and torches and an emergency light, as these emergency lights provide light for at least 6 to 8 hours. So, we have taken them with us. Our group started going through the east wing and the other group said they will go through the west wing. We started going from room to room. If a room is unlocked, we would open the room and record the room in a 360-degree view and come out and close the door and mark it with chalk on the door, that we have visited this door. The locked doors we marked with X. This way we went through the east wing floor by floor. After going through 3 floors we came upon the terrace. We recorded the terrace and went to the west side of the terrace door. It was unlocked and we descended the steps. We came to the 3rd floor and looked into the corridor. It seemed empty. We went a little further and Sharma is walking in the front. He must have struck something and he fell forward and the light in his hand fell on something and made a thud sound. 133. We trained our torches on what he slipped on. Someone is on the floor face down. Rakesh went and looked into the face of the person. It was Ritesh and he seemed unconscious. He checked his breathing and said, he seemed alive. Looked at his back and turned him and looked at his front body. He does not have any injuries on his body. He must have been struck. He took some water from the bottle and put it on his face. He moved a little. After a minute opened his eyes and asked, where I am. I asked, what happened? He said, I was behind the others and I stopped and looked in this room. Someone hit me from the front of my head and I fell down. Did you see who it was? It was just a shadow. I said, there must be someone here. I pushed the door and looked inside from afar. No shadow moved inside. I moved the torch from side to side and then stepped inside mouthing the mantra Dad taught me. I stepped away from the door and looked around pointing my torch. No one seemed to be there. The room is almost empty except for a bed in the corner. No one seemed to be on the bed. I went close to the bed and it seemed slept on, not dusty from a long time unused. I shouted, guys, it seems someone is sleeping here. The 4 of them came running inside. I showed the torch on the bed and said, see, someone must be sleeping here. There is no dust and the crumpled bedsheet seems slept recently. He must have come near the door hearing your sounds and he must have struck you with this stick, pointing to a stick beside the door. Sharma asked, who could be sleeping here? I said, who else could be sleeping here? Some antisocial elements. Must be running away from the police or something. Or he could be one of the terrorists hiding here. They must have scared people coming near the building. We should get away from here, it could be dangerous. We turned to the door to get out of the room. It was closed. I asked, who closed the door? Ritesh, who came inside last, said, when I came in it was open. Who could close it? He went to the door and tried opening it. It was locked from the outside. He got scared and shouted, open the door. There was no response from the outside. I went to him and said, don't get panic. We have options. Is anyone from your group have mobiles? He said, I don't know. I looked at the mobile and said, there is no signal here. I went to the window and checked, there is a single point signal. I called Daddy's number. He picked up and said, where are you calling from? I said, we came on a mission and we are stuck in this room here. Someone locked us in. He asked, where is the building you are talking about? I gave him the details and the address. He said, you lock the door from the inside and only open it when some known person calls you. I am reaching there. Kumar. When Lena called and said she was struck in a room at a haunted house, I was angry she went there without informing me. I thought about who could be near the place where the building is. I thought Raj and I had his number and he could also bring Krishna. I called Raj and explained the situation and told him to get Krishna and anyone else available. I will come and pick them up in 20 minutes. I told Sahithi I am going out on some work. Came down with my car keys and started to drive to Vakola. By the time I reached Raj's building, he was standing with another 5 persons from Krishna's chal. They all crammed into the car and we drove towards where the haunted house was located. Krishna introduced the people he had brought. One of the persons is a constable. I explained to them the situation we are going to face. We can expect someone there. Most possibly they would already get away from there. Most probably no one will be there. But be ready to intercept anyone present there. There could be some students from Lena's college. We reached the place in half an hour. 135. Lena said she was on the west side on the third floor. We went by steps to the third floor and we entered the corridor and I shouted, "Lena." There was a mild sound "Daddy" from further down the corridor. I went to further inside and shouted and I heard Lena's voice there and a tap on the door. I located the door from where the sound is coming and went and opened the lock. It seemed locked from the inside. I knocked on the door and said, "Lena, open up." She opened the door and hugged me saying, "Daddy." I asked, "Where are the others?" "We have 4 people here and 3 are still missing." Ritesh said, "They went that side and turned left there." We went to the side indicated by Ritesh and started opening locked doors. Further down we found the 3 of them in a room terrorized thinking that they were locked inside by a ghost. When we opened the door, they were shouting, "Don't harm us. We will do anything you ask us." Lena shouted, "It is us, come out." They heard Lena's voice and came out into the corridor. I said, "What is this stupidity? You should have informed someone before coming like this." Lena said, "Sorry Daddy, I thought it would ghost and I can face them with your mantra. But here the situation is different." I turned to the constable and said, "Will you report this at your station? They can take up investigation who were staying here." He said, "He will take care of it. I should get some recognition for my work." I asked, "How you have come here?" They said, "They came by bike. If anyone going towards Vakola they can take these guys, and I will arrange for others to reach home." When everyone left I took Lena, Sheila, and Sharma and dropped Sharma off first and took them to our house. From the house, I called Trivedi and informed him that Sheila is in our house and will return tomorrow. He said, "Thanks for the information." I cradled the receiver and said, "Go and sleep, we will talk tomorrow." Lena took Sheila to her room. I said to Sahithi, "These girls went ghost hunting." She said surprisingly, "Ghost hunting?" I said, "Yes, they have not found ghosts but someone else. Those people locked them up in a room. I went and unlocked the door and brought them here." Sahithi said, "These girls became too bold after the kidnapping. What things they are doing." Lena. Dad came in the nick of time to rescue us from the locked door. We are lucky that Sheila and I have our mobile phones and a signal was available there. Otherwise, we would have been stuck there for how long? We have to be careful in the future. We have to think about all the scenarios before venturing into the unknown. If we don't have our phones, what we could have done? Do the persons who helped us escape the kidnappers, would they have come? I don't know, why to take a risk that they would come or not? Kumar. When Lena asked about ghosts, I have not expected her gang to go ghost hunting. I gave her that mantra to increase her confidence and reduce her fear of the unknown. Instead of ghosts, they have found a gang's hideout. I have been informed by the constable from Krishna's Chal that he had informed his higher-ups regarding finding the hideout. When they investigated, it was found out that they were planning a major attack on the city and they could recover a cache of weapons and other things like maps of the city marked for attack. No one was found during search operations, but they found some fingerprints and some DNA which they are analyzing and whose details are not known to him. At least something came out of their investigation. I told them without informing anyone, don't do anything like this again. If they had no mobile, what they could have done? I remembered when mobile phones were not there and we had to depend on paid phones. We had to go searching for phone booths. Sheila. 137. Dad scolded me for going with the group for ghost hunting. Why did I go with them when I have fear of ghosts? He asked, "How am I feeling after ghost hunting and not finding any ghosts?" It has helped me boost my confidence. Lena has also helped me with this. She was the most confident person in the ghost hunt group. She was not scared of anything. Even at the most difficult times she has taken control of the situation and has brought us out of the house. I told Dad about the mobile phone you have given us, which is instrumental in bringing us out of the house. Thanks for the gift. Dad said, "You are welcome. I am happy that the gift I gave has brought some advantages for you." I asked, "Lena, what is our next adventure?" and she replied, "We will take a little time off and concentrate on our studies. We will think about that after the exams." Lena. Our first-year degree exams finished and the summer holidays have started. We have done well in our exams and I expect an A+ grade in my results. Now I sat with Sheila and brainstormed what to do. Sheila said, first we will watch some movies we missed. We went DVD shopping and brought some Hindi and English movies we missed during our studies. We sat and watched the movies for 1 week. After completing the movies, we thought about what we should do. Unlike other summer holidays, we were feeling bored this time. We want to have the thrill of some action. The only thing we don't know is what to do. Then one day we had the chance to prove ourselves. One of our friends faced with a situation has asked for our help. We went over to her and asked, "What is your problem, Pranavi?" Pranavi said, her sister was taken over by a ghost. I said, we would like to see her. Pranavi asked, "You don't get scared, no?" I said, I am not scared of ghosts. What is her name? Pranavi said, my sister's name is Ravali. Pranavi took us to her sister Ravali's room. Ravali is sitting on the bed, her hair is open and in disarray. She was mumbling something under her breath. I asked, what she is talking about. She said, we can't understand which language she is speaking. I asked, what is your mother tongue? She replied, Tamil. I asked, are you sure it is not Tamil? She said, I am sure, I would have understood if she is speaking Tamil. I went closer and tried to catch her words. Nothing is intelligible. I thought what she is speaking is not what we hear daily. I asked, Ravali, what is your name? She said something and started crying. I asked, Pranavi, why she is crying. If someone asks her, she starts crying. I asked, how you decided she was taken over by a ghost. Everyone is saying it is an indication of a ghost taking her possession. I called father and asked, how to know if someone is possessed by a ghost. He said, take some water in your hand and read the mantra I told you 12 times and put the water on that person's face. From the reactions it can be found out. If the person acts violently, there is a possibility of ghost possession, or if the person acts normal, then it is not a ghost possession. I cut the call and asked, Pranavi, get me some water. She brought a glass of water. I put some water on my right hand, put the hand over the glass and recited the mantra as my father advised. Then I threw the water on Ravali's face. She just moved her head aside. It seems she is not possessed by the ghost. I said, see her, she is not affected by the water I threw on her. She is not possessed, she must be mentally ill. My father told me schizophrenia patients behave like they are possessed. It is better to show her to a psychiatrist. It is a mental illness only, not related to ghosts. She asked, how are you so sure of it is possession? I said, the mantra water test shows if she is possessed or not. She asked, are you sure? 139. I said, if you are not sure of my observations, I could ask my father to check. She asked, can you do that? I said, I will call my father and see. I called Dad and told him the reaction she has given when I threw the water on her face. He asked, what is her physical appearance? I said, she had open hair and it is in disarray. She seemed not to care about her surroundings and she is muttering something unintelligible. If someone tries to speak to her, she would start to cry. He asked, where are you? I gave him the address. He said, he will come there when he had some free time. I cut the call and said, my father said he will come and visit when he is free. Kumar. When Lena called and asked about ghost possession, I was surprised. When she called and said about the water having no effect on the girl, I asked her about her actions. It seems she is affected mentally. I remember there is a homeopathy medicine for that. I checked the collection of medicines we had and found the required medicine, and it has to be administered with water as it is a mother tincture. I removed the name label from the bottle and kept it aside. Then Lena returned home and explained the events of the day. I asked, when can we visit their house? Lena said, we can visit any time. I took the bottle of medicine. Lena asked, what is that? I said, it is a medicine for her treatment. Don't tell them that, we will say it is a mantra potent water, which will remove the ghost. They will believe if we say it will remove the ghost, If we say it is the medicine they will not believe us. Both of us went over in our car. Her friend took us to her room. I did some mumbo jumbo as if I am finding the ghost. I asked, "What is your name?" Ravali mumbled something. I put the medicine in half glass of water and gave it to her to drink. Pranavi made her drink it forcefully. I said, "Give her this holy water mix in half glass of water every night before sleeping. Don't give her anything to eat before giving her this water." Pranavi asked, "Why at the night?" I said, "The ghost will sleep with her so the mantra starts working with her. I will come and visit after 2 days." She said, "Okay." We left her and returned home. I said to Lena to go and visit her tomorrow, see any change in her attitude. We will check this medicine for at least a week, then we will see what to do. She asked, "What is her problem?" It seems something mental problem from her attitude. I gave her medicine to treat her symptoms. It may take some time to clear her problems, but we might know something in a day or two. Lena came back and reported that Ravali is slowly coming back to normal. It seems the medicine is working. These medicines require belief in the medicine to work properly. They also need time to work out. Sometimes they take 3 months to a year to completely cure. Unlike allopathy medicines, these cures and not just give temporary relief. The main difference is allopathy medicines are given for problems like pains, stomach aches, etc. They don't look into symptoms, or what causes the problems. These homeopathy medicines are given seeing the symptoms, not problems. They want to go to the root cause of the problem to treat them. Take the case of Ravali. She has some problem that is causing mental problems. It might be due to an imbalance of her hormones. This medicine would set right the hormones. Lena. I have been daily monitoring Ravali to check the progress of her mental problems. Within a week, she was almost back to normal. In consultation with Dad, I told her to continue using the medicine or holy water as I told them. It will stop the ghost from taking her once again. It is after 1 month and Loveleen Auntie gave a party for Dhruv, and she arranged dinner at our house and a drinks party at her house. Dad was talking to his friends, and after their party, they had come to our house for dinner. He must be talking about my kidnapping, and he was telling them when they asked 141. For 1 crore rupees, and Mr. Trivedi is about to carry the bag, and how he had gone there before him and waited opposite the beach. One person asked, "Where did you wait?" "On the beach." He said, "No, opposite the way to the beach there is a 1-story building and we waited on their balcony." He asked, "Did they let you wait there?" Did not object. Dad said, "There is a nice man, Mr. D'Souza, when I told him about our daughters being kidnapped and we were waiting for the exchange of money on the beach. He brought chairs and gave us to sit. I heard the name and asked, 'Dad, how is Nikita teacher?' He said, 'Nikita is his daughter. How do you know her? Is she your teacher in school?' I said, 'No, I told you I was staying in the bungalows near there. She is used to coming to teach us. She used to teach Chitty Hindi and English and etiquette.' He asked, 'Who is Chitty?' I said, 'I told you no, she is Raaya. She used to look after the death of Sneha's mummy. So, Nanama brought her from the village to look after us as Ae goes to the office too.' He asked, 'Ae mean?' I said, 'Ae means Sahithi mummy. Atul and Reena are twins and they are born to Sneha auntie. They are elder than me. That's why after seeing them here so small, I laughed.' He said, 'It is all so confusing. Didn't you live with old people?' I said, 'When I was small I had lived there, then they wanted to go to Bombay to live with his son here. Then while we were coming out of the railway station, they met with an accident. Then I was taken to the Maharashtra Shaka Pramukh. There he spoke with someone and told me to sit on a bench. After some time, Dad came and took me to this big bungalow on the beachfront. There were Ae and Atul and Reena. Then when I told you about what I remembered from when I was small, he took me to Nanama and kept me there for 2 days and later took me to the bungalow. Then I joined Atul and Reena in their school. Chitty used to take us to school in a car with a driver. Then she used to bring us back. On one side building, Dad has a software firm, and on another side bungalow Loveleen Auntie stays with Dhruv. Then Dad got another building besides Loveleen's auntie's bungalow, Then Dad told A to get that building decorated so we all can go and stay there. There I got a room with Rina and Atul got himself a room with Dhruv. Then one day before I came back to you, I was coming out of the classroom and Atul and Rina were going to the car without me and I called them to stop and they looked back, but I was at the outside of the bungalow and you were not staying there. And D'Souza uncle took me to the police station and you came and took me to the house. Dad asked, so you mean to say you were with the old couple for some time and then you came to us at a different house and I was in the software business and Mummy doing what? I said, interior decoration company run by Loveleen auntie. Okay, then we were all shifted to another house and then when you were at school and you came back to the bungalow and we were not staying there and you came back to us. Now everyone listening to our conversation with open mouths. Mommy came and asked, so, you lived like a queen with us for some time before coming back here? I said, like a princess. Mummy said, crying okay, like a princess. I asked, why are you crying Mummy? She said, all these years I was thinking about what kind of life did you go through. Now I am happy that you could stay with us or at least one like us and who is better off. When you were home you had a good school dress on. Which school was it? I said, it is in Santa Cruz West, you must have seen the label on the dress. She said, I saw it and never thought to check it out. Maybe they will say you never studied there. She whispered something to Dad. He shook his head. Kumar. Sahithi said, Lena seems to speak as if she had experienced all that. Otherwise, how can she tell all those details? I said, when I went to check the place where they were going to exchange the money, we went and waited with a camera, we must have some photos with us. 143. I went and checked the photos we printed and looked at them. We took photos of people coming toward us. I showed Lena and asked her to pick D'Souza's daughter's photo. She took the photo and showed us. I clearly remember him saying Nikita, and I thought what a new name, I never heard of it. Then she removed his elder daughter and showed, I don't remember her name. It seems she has experienced what she was telling about, but how is it possible? Me being in a bungalow and having a software company. I don't know ABCD of software, I have been an accountant my whole life, and Sahithi worked as chairman's PA. Then we are living in this flat after the quarters. But what about Loveleen and her son Dhruv? I took her aside and asked about Loveleen. Where is Loveleen's husband? Lena said he was killed in Delhi by 2 gunmen. There were some rumors that her father, who is a CM, got him killed for something. I remember her telling me that both her parents were dead. What kind of world did Lena go and come to? Is it after her guardians were dead? Did she go somewhere out of this world? Did someone save her and sent her away until the time she could come home to us? Is there someone saving her from danger? I asked. Lena, tell me truthfully how you get saved from the kidnappers. She must have felt she was caught in a lie. Sorry Daddy, they told us not to tell anyone. They did not have permission to save us, but still, they saved us. 2 men came and first took care of the 2 men the police caught, and they untied us and tied them and took us to the police station and left us outside. They said don't tell anyone about us, or they will lose their jobs. It seems someone keeping tabs on Lena, but why? Would they have the power to take her somewhere else and keep her there for such a long time? Is it some kind of guardian angel, who is keeping her safe? I heard about them in stories only, never encountered or heard someone actually encountering them. Is Lena some kind of blessed child? So, they trying to keep her safe? Or is it fate that she had to live in the village for a year and then she would live in a bungalow and then come back to us? Or is it kind of a science experiment, where they fill the brain with such information, she would believe is true? I don't know anything now if I think like that. Where did Sahithi work before working with Loveleen? Lena said, I think she worked as a stenotypist. By the time I went there she is already working in Loveleen's firm and she has a car with a driver and an assistant. I went to Sahithi and said, you better get a job with Loveleen, that Sahithi is working with Loveleen and she has a car with a driver and an assistant too. Sahithi said, I also have an assistant here, we also have a car which I use. What do I need a driver for? I said, it seems that Sahithi does not know driving. Sahithi said, don't play with me using Lena. I said, okay, Sorry Baba. Okay, let me check what Lena said. She said Atul and Lena are Sneha's children and Sahithi does not have any children. Sneha died in an accident. And that Kumar must have married Sahithi to look after the kids. Because she is a working lady and my mother got an AAYA for the kids named Chitty from the village. Then I took Sahithi from Steno's work and got her to work with Loveleen as a manager. Loveleen is divorced and her parents are dead here, but there she is a widow and stays first in the next building, and then they got another building and they all shifted there. Why did he take her and put her in his own house? Lena said about a rumor that her father is a CM and for some reason got her husband killed. If we take this Loveleen as an example, then it must be her idea to get the new building and shift there. For some reason she wants to stay close to Kumar. Is it business or love or fear or something else? She also said Joy and Sunitha are also staying with them in the house. Now I don't know who they are. She also mentioned Mahira working with them. Is there a Chitty here also? I need to check. I called home and Mom took the phone. I asked, is there a Chitty in our village? She said, I think so. When you went there, did you not meet her? I said, I seem to remember. She said, she is your uncle's youngest daughter. I said, okay, then what is she doing? I think she works in a school or something. I thought at least a Chitty is there in the village. If needed we could have called her and instead we got someone else here as AAYA for the daytime. I called Lena and asked, where did they stay before coming to stay at the bungalows? 145. A talked about having her house in Vikhroli. I called Sunitha and asked, did you have a house at Vikhroli? I think my grandmother used to have 2 houses and one of them at Vikhroli. I did not have one. It was used for her treatment. My mother sold off the houses and had her treated and still, she passed away. So, Sahithi had a house in Vikhroli passed on to her by her grandmother and here they sold it off for her treatment. That could be the reason to have Chitty as AAYA for them. They were staying separate, and they know they could not have an AAYA without supervision, so they got one from the village. One reason he got companies and bungalows and he got all those people in his life. Except for Loveleen, I don't know anyone else. Is it because of all these people he got the money or because of the money he got all these people? At least I came to know someone else like me exists in this world. But what about Lena? Why did she go there and why did she come back here? Lena. Our colleges have started and we immersed ourselves in our studies. Science is full of work, there is always writing records and things like that. Over that, we had taken biology as a major, which is one of the subjects we had to prepare a lot of records. Once we were taken on a tour, where we had to collect specimens for our records. I and Sheila were collecting specimens and went away from our group. As we were searching for our group, 2 people came in front of us and warned us not to go that side as there is a steep drop and showed us the way to our group and went away. I was breaking my head thinking about where I had seen them. In the middle of my sleep, I woke up suddenly and then I thought why. I remember the 2 people who showed the way, they are the ones who saved us from the kidnappers. It seems they are behind us and looking after us. But why? I shook Sheila awake and said, do you remember those 2 guys who showed the way? She said, sleepily no, why? I said, they are the ones who had saved us from the kidnappers. Sheila said, yes, okay, and went back to sleep. The next day, while collecting specimens I tried to find them around, but they must be experienced to hide, I could not place them anywhere near us. So, I forgot them. Without any further incidents, our college life is going on for the year. 147. Chapter 6. The year 2009. Kumar. This year Reena has her SSC exams. I asked Lena to help her with exam preparation. Lena will be giving her second year BSc exams, so she can help her sister. But it was back of my mind, where did she go when she was kidnapped? Lena. This year my mom arranged a party for my birthday. As usual, the party was arranged on the terrace and Dad arranged his own party in the hall for his friends. I called all my friends and Sheila is beside me at the party. Ravali and Pranavi also came. She is back to normal. Ravali went to Dad and said, thanks. Then he revealed to her it was not a ghost possession, it was some kind of mental illness. So, I had given you the medicine for that and you were cured. She said, is it so? Pranavi asked, what are you thinking after your BSc? I said, I want to become a scientist developing medicines. Ravali asked, why? Lena replied, to find medicines for unknown ailments, that is my aim. Pranavi said, so you will be doing MSc in one of these biotechnology, cellular biology or microbiology. I said, I will think about that after completing my BSc. Now Rahul has not come in front of us again. Sheila is also concentrating on her studies. Our exams went well and we started our routine of watching movies daily. The days followed very fast for us with our college work and other activities. We completed our BSc with good grades and I and Sheila have joined post-graduation in biotechnology. 2 years running in a jiffy. We joined as trainee research fellows to research vaccines and their veracity on people. Now I am in a research lab developing vaccines and medicines for various viruses. 149. Chapter 7. The year 2014. Lena. Until now I have not met anyone to my liking. When we first entered our lab, we found there are the 2 guys who helped us with the kidnappers and the ones who warned us on our trip. I went to them and said, hello. They said hello to us and introduced themselves as Vikram and Rohan. We introduced ourselves as Lena and Sheila. I told them thanks for rescuing us from the kidnappers. Are you following us? Rohan asked, why are you asking like that? I said, you also warned us about the hills when we went on our trip. Rohan said, we were not following you, we saw you going towards the steep drop and warned you. About the saving from kidnappers, we were told by a man named Bob, he has asked us to help you get away from the kidnappers. Sheila asked, who is this Bob? We are hearing his name for the first time. Rahul said, we also don't know, he asked us to help out rescuing 2 girls who were taken by some kidnappers and he stayed outside and sent us inside and when we came out he was nowhere to be seen. So, we dropped you guys at the police station and went our way. I said, when we saw you on the hills, I thought you were working as our guardian angels. Rohan asked, where did you get the idea? Sheila said, she was kidnapped at the age of 1 and when at the age of 2 the kidnappers died she was sent somewhere, where her identical father and mother were staying in several bungalows at the beachside. She stayed with them for 5 years and then she was returned to her parents. I said, I was confused for a long time, did I really stay there or it is a dream? I had the same siblings there but they were elder and twins. One girl came inside the lab and asked, what are you so seriously discussing? Rohan said, hi Tanvi, this is Lena and Sheila, new research fellows. She was telling about her being abducted at the age of 1 and returning to her parents at age of 8. She was telling when her kidnappers died after 1 year. She was taken over to identical parents by some guardian angels and returned back to her parents after 5 years. She is asking, did we have anything to do with that? Tanvi asked, did you have something to do with that? Rahul said, how can I must be a toddler then. Tanvi said, come let us go and have lunch. We all went to the canteen for lunch. Sheila. Seeing Rohan, I felt a little tingling in my heart. After Rahul's fiasco, I was scared to get close to anyone. Over that Lena always discouraged me when someone came close to me by saying they are after my father's money. Seeing how she saved me from the kidnappers, I had to listen to her. Maybe I have to thank her for my studies. If not for her I would have just stopped after my degree and would have married someone selected by my parents. Now I am working as a research fellow with this company and I have some future with this. I will not tell him about my father and try to act like a middle-class girl with him. Let us see how he will react to us. Sahithi. Loveleen has arranged a birthday party for Dhruv at her house. As usual, Sheila's family also came. After the kidnapping drama, Sheila's family has become close to our family. At first, I had reservations about Loveleen, but as time passed, her behavior has not changed. She would tell Dhruv to give respect to our kids as he should treat his elder siblings. She would treat them equal to Dhruv. If she gets any new dresses for Dhruv, she would get these 3 too. When she brought Dhruv a bicycle, she gave Lena scooter to ride. Atul already had a cycle, otherwise, she would have given him one. But she got Atul and Reena something as a gift. She always gives them gifts. Kumar. Today I was called to the board meeting. Thinking something up, I prepared to answer their questions and went to the board meeting. In the meeting, they passed a resolution that I will be made a director of the company. After all these years they have recognized my talent and made me a director. It is not about the money, it is a prestige to be made a director. 151. Lena. Tanvi seems to be interested in Vikram. But I don't think he is interested in her, at least romantically. Now after all these years Sheila is smitten by Rohan. I can see it in her eyes. Her eyes light up seeing him. He is 100 times better than Rahul. But I don't know how Rohan feels about Sheila. Maybe we need a few days to understand these guys. Vikram came to us and announced that they are taking 10 research fellows to train in the USA. I said, great opportunity. He asked, if you want to get trained there, go and fill out the forms. I asked, will I get the opportunity for training? He said, you will certainly get it. I said, Sheila, come with me, and we went and filled out the forms and came back. Surprisingly the 5 of us got the go-ahead for the training. We both went and applied for the passport. We never thought we would be going abroad and never applied for a passport. The passport office called us and handed us our passports and we went for visa processing. Everything went smoothly and we got visas to go to the USA for research training. It was surprising how everything went so smoothly. We did not have to wait for our passports or visas. I heard people had to apply multiple times to get visas. 5 of us with other 5 people from other departments went over to the USA. Sahithi. When I heard Lena is going to the USA for training, I was worried about how she will stay away from us for so long. Then I remembered her staying away from us for 6 years. I know she is tough as nails. She has been trained to handle all kinds of situations. All these years I have not seen her with any boys. After the fiasco with Rahul, Sheila also kept away from boys. These two had been for each other all these years. They should keep each other company. Lena. As the project for submitting our thesis, we selected a virus for the samples kept at the center. I looked at the history of the virus. It was found in the forest near Andhra and Orissa border. There is no further history of who found it and under what circumstances it was found. First, we collected the sample and put it in an incubator for it to multiply. It was kept dormant all this time and once it woke up it started to reproduce very rapidly. We took it out of the incubator and put it in a container to check its progress. It just took 10 minutes to reproduce and was rapidly multiplying. We took extreme care and put the virus in a container with a rat. As suggested by our superiors, we are taking extreme care that the virus should not get out into the environment. Then we put it in a special DNA analyzer. When the DNA results came, we tried to compare them to other DNA results available to us. None was found to match the existing one in the library. Now we understand it is very difficult to find a cure for this virus, which seems alien to us. We loaded the DNA results to our server, which we were told is one of its kind. It is a supercomputer with a speed reaching 1 exaflop. This computer is connected to the fastest internet available at present and it can search for information from all over the world for any matching cures. When it returned no information available, we understand we are going to face the toughest opponent in the universe. We looked at the mouse, it was dead an hour after being infected. We infected a mouse and left it with a bunch of mice. We switched on the recording and went to our cabin. When Tanvi, Vikram and Rohan came to our cabin, we asked for their help as we understand we are going to face the toughest challenge of our life. We sat down at our computer and I prepared the report of what we found until now. I sent this information to these 3. Reading that they expressed to help us with finding the cure. We all have assembled in the canteen discussing what to do next. We thought there is no urgency with the vaccine as we are not in any immediate danger. I saw a man enter the canteen. I said, look, who is that man? I think I saw him somewhere. Vikram looked back and said, he is Bob, and got up and went to him and shook his hands and asked, what are you doing here? I went there hearing his name, as he is my benefactor, and others came behind me. He shook hands with all of us and said, let us sit and talk. We went back to our table and Rohan asked, anything for you, perhaps coffee or tea? 153. Bob said, thank you, nothing for me, you carry on. Now about the virus, Lena is studying, do you have any idea about that? I said, I studied the virus, it seems to be very dangerous, and I checked it against the medicines already developed and found a combination to treat the virus, but I feel that won't be enough with this virus, it needs a vaccine to have effective containment. Bob said, whatever you said is true, but did you find the vaccine yet? I said, that is what we are discussing, and what type of vaccine should be developed for that? He said, I have got a vaccine developed for that virus long back, but it was not documented or published. You can use the paper and develop the vaccine and can finish your thesis. I said, won't I get into trouble? He said, it won't be a problem. If you want, I can give it to you in writing. You need to complete the vaccine creation immediately. I asked, what is the urgency? He asked, do you know where the sample has come from? I said, there is no history behind the sample. Bob said, the virus has come to our Earth with a meteorite and they have secured the site by pouring a block of cement on that. Now due to an earthquake at the place where it landed, the cement block opened up and the surrounding areas are at risk. We need to vaccinate the people around there immediately. I asked, how do you know all this and how did you get the vaccine paper? He said, I just picked the paper from whoever wrote it and I was following this virus for a long time. It landed in the year 1988. You first complete this vaccine and submit your thesis immediately and I will take up with the government about vaccinating the people. We went back to the lab and created the vaccine as mentioned in the paper and tested it with the virus-infected mice and monkeys. Now we have to wait and see the results. As requested by Bob, I wrote the thesis on the cure and submitted it to our professor. When asked about the results, we said we checked against mice and monkeys and the results were satisfactory. We went back to our room and Sheila switched on the TV. The news was running and after regular news, one news item caught our attention. I asked, Sheila, do you have our professor's mobile now? She looked through her contacts and said, here it is. I took the number and called him. I said, sir, did you watch the news? He asked, what happened? I said, there is some news of virus attacks in the interiors of the Visakhapatnam forest area, in India. It seems similar to the virus we have developed a cure for. You better contact the officials and inform them about the vaccine. You can take the credit but take the matter seriously. He said, wait, someone is at the door. Some discussion can be heard and he said, he will call later and cut the phone. The phone rang after half an hour and the professor said, can you come to the office? I said, I will be there in 10 minutes. I called Rohan and asked him to come to the office as the professor called me there. He said, he will be there. We reached the lab and by the time Rohan reached along with Vikram. Rohan asked, what happened? I said, it must be about the virus. I saw on the news about the virus outbreak in the interiors of the forests, in India. It seems similar to the one we developed a cure and I called our professor, and while I was speaking he said someone came to his house and cut the call and now he asked me to come to the office room. So, I called you to accompany us. We all went into the office room. We knocked on the door and opened it. Some people were sitting on the chairs and the professor seeing us said, she is the one who developed the cure for the virus. They all looked at me. I smiled and said, hello sir. 155. Professor said, these people are from the Center for Disease Control under the federal government. They came to inquire about the vaccine you have developed. They looked at me and one person with them seemed familiar but he sat further away. One person asked, how did you develop the vaccine? I said, I have taken the virus for the thesis. We checked various medicines against the virus and one medicine combination worked, and for the purpose of vaccines, we have taken the inactive virus method and were experimenting with these fellow researchers. We could able to develop this vaccine and we checked against the resources available. The head of their team told the professor to approve the medicines and vaccine treatment and send it to their team to start the production of the virus. They made him sign the thesis and got his stamp and gave me my copy and took one copy for their reference and went away. I saw Mr. Bob smiling at me while going with them. On the occasion of completing my thesis, I invited the group to a party. Chapter 8. Lena. After a week we got called to the head of the institution. We went and I knocked on the door and asked, "Can I come in, sir?" The head looked up and said, "Come in and be seated." We sat on the available chairs in front of him. He looked at a paper in front of him and said, "I have received a report from the Center for Disease Control about your thesis submitted by you. They find the vaccine is very effective against the virus and they recommended you be appointed to the institute as junior research fellow. They have also granted our institute a grant of $1 million for researching viruses and vaccines. This grant will be renewed every year for the next 5 years. So, here are your appointment orders," and handed us our orders. I looked at my order. It is showing a salary of $2,000 plus other perks. We told the head thanks and came out and I hugged Sheila. Sheila said, "Being with you I also received this job, thank you very much." Rahul asked, "How come you are drawing more than us?" I said, "It must be the vaccine we researched for." 157. Part 6. Chapter 1. The year 2019. Lena. Since last December we were hearing of a virus attack in China and now Chinese cities were quarantined. They named the virus corona and we are hearing it is appearing around the globe. We were provided with a sample of the virus and we started our research into finding a cure for the same. Two-pronged work we were doing. One is finding medicines to contain the virus or its severity and the second is finding a vaccine for the same. I was expecting Mr. Bob and will give me the formula for the virus. But as the days passed he was not anywhere to be found. The severity of the situation was increasing day by day and the solution was eluding us. We could not find a medicine which could contain the virus. By the time we could find some solution it has reached a pandemic stage. We took a meeting and decided the only way to contain the virus is to inoculate the general population with a vaccine. We put all our efforts into finding a virus and testing. Finding a vaccine is not that much difficult, but testing and finding its side effects is a Herculean task. We finalized a vaccine and released it for general consumption. When we thought we are safe from the virus, there were reports of the virus mutating. We got the samples and started to test the virus against the new mutations. Chapter 2. The year 2020. Lena. 159. It is a new year and still, we can't sit relaxed as the reports of mutations come over from all over the world. Our whole time was spent checking new strains of the virus. We don't have any life outside the lab. Epilogue. The 1st of January 2021. Kumar. I heard the doorbell ring and went and opened the door. A man was standing outside with an invitation in his hand. I opened it and looked at the invitation card inside. You are cordially invited with family to the New Year function at Hotel Taj, Mumbai on the 9th of January 2021. Attendance is compulsory. Invited by Kumar's Grand Alliance. RSVP 7,893,642,582. I asked the man standing outside, "What is this?" He said, "As mentioned in the invitation, attendance is compulsory." I called the number on the card. The call is answered and said, "Yes, Mr. Kumar, are you available to attend the function?" I asked, "What is this function?" He said, "We are facilitating you to meet all your friends and family members." I said, "Okay, I will be coming." He said, "Don't forget to bring your family." I said, "Okay." To be continued. 161.